right now as it is only 59. And so it's just, oh,
It's only
thanks.
59? That's like totally cold for Floridians.
Yes. And
Oh, the 48s is that's our winter here.
that's what
For
our
us.
lows are for right now. And so it's super,
Weird.
super, super cold.
Not
It's just
good for you
ridiculous.
and I either, those temperatures going up and
No, it
down
is
at all.
not. Oh, it's-
I've still got the, like, lame leg going on. I don't know what that
oh,
is. I do not know what that is. I mean, it's
mm,
neuropathy, but I don't know what set it off. Hey,
right. Hey,
Angel.
Angel. I'm checking again, Krista, to see if it's there. If not, I'm just going to put the link in. I haven't had anybody. Like, where did I?
Mm, my
Where did I?
watermelon got eaten, and then I noticed, a day ago, I had marigolds. The rains came and must have watered them down enough to where they didn't scare any bugs anymore, and they are eaten too.
Mhm. Oh,
So that
that's right. Right, Ivory Girl. Now I remember. Yes, you're my egg patron.
Oh,
Well, I'm denying her eggs right now because Marissa's eating them, and my ladies are only giving
mm,
a couple a day. There's usually 3, and then
'cause
somebody
you
at least.
have some aging out, right, of the
Mm.
boop, 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 popping them out.
Okay, Krista, I am just gonna put the link here. Oh
Wow.
no, I didn't put it in the right chat. Sorry, I need to put it in this chat. Oh no, I did.
No,
It
you
showed
did
up
it.
there.
It's there.
Oh,
You're good.
yeah, yeah, I did. Okay,
Wow,
good.
crazy life.
Yes, and
Where's crazy life? Homestead, where are you, crazy life? I didn't
I forget where she's at.
South Florida was bearable today, but I have to go out after 4 or 5 o'clock to make it bearable. Hey, PIA, good to see you. Passionately intrigued arts and more.
Mhm. I didn't know if I said Angel. So hello, Angel. Your
You
the T-shirt is in the mail.
which is
It is on
awesome.
its way. So yeah,
Ooh,
hi,
cool.
hi, Pia. Great. Thank you for coming in.
Sounds
Okay, so
fun.
yeah, north of me, gardeners are seeing major amounts of rain, stunted plants, washed out plants. People feel behind. Yep.
Yeah. Yep.
Mhm. Mhm.
Yep. Hey,
So
Sean Meckham. I was just thinking of you today. I saw my old mango jelly and I called it lost my virginity or something. And he was the only Christian friend. He's like, you can't be naming things that. Cut that out. I'm like, it was kind of just an assessment of to see what YouTube would do with it because they seem to always push out the naughty titles. But I try not to do that anymore because he was right. And it's so weird when you think of somebody and then all of a sudden they arrive in your side chat.
yeah,
Yay,
yeah.
welcome.
So hi, Sean. Welcome in.
Oh, that's where he's been. He moved to Mississippi.
Mhm.
All
Mhm.
right. Hope it's going well.
Yeah, and so I'm hoping it's going to get warmer because and that whatever's out there is going to survive. I do have some of the squashes are doing well. There is some fruiting coming up. I will be doing a um, June garden tour for Monday, so that'll be coming out. So,
Uh,
yes,
almost
my
a green
plants.
acre. You said back, but you got to come over to Marine's chat to grab
Yeah, the link.
the link. I could probably copy it though. Let me see. Just
Mhm.
drop it in. Boop,
Yes, my
boop, boop.
plants are looking wilted in the daytime. I'm a bit worried about them. They perk up in the evening. Oh, he's okay. I
That's
think mine
bummer.
are probably sad in the daytime, and then they're or no, mine are happy in the daytime, and then probably just
There we
freezing.
go. I got it. Almost a green acre. You don't have to, but let me hit. I'm going to go into my edit. Make sure I don't have anybody who's not a sub.
Oh, that's so weird. When I signed out of my yes, that that's the odd thing because it's like I have 2 channels. Like I have my Maureen Washington music channel, and then I have my Diva in the Dirt. It's all under one email. But when my picture comes up, it comes up with my Maureen
Right.
Washington music one,
Yep.
and so yeah, it's a bit awkward.
Yeah,
So
Marina, I've talked about that before because it happens to me with just this one that I never use. This account
mhm.
has
The
my
Lord
whole
opened up an overwhelming amount of doors, made a lot of solid Christian friends up here, and it just opened
Oh,
up confirmation after. Oh, that's
oh,
awesome, Sean.
wonderful. That's great.
Oh, so has anyone seen bug damage since we had a mild winter?
Yeah,
Oh, for you guys.
more.
Mhm.
Yeah, we had no winter at all. It seemed like this year to
Mm.
shock anything. So yes, yeah.
Okay, so I'm gonna post the link here for you. Ba-da-ba-ba. Back again. Well, it's up there, but it's like
Yeah, I know. No, it's just funny. It's like the daytime live when my Renaissance grandma was like, "I'm just like my stuff is disappearing," and I'm like, "Oh no, it is. You're not. What? Where are you?" And then we realized she was in the other chat of the other person who was streaming.
right, right. Hey, Bud Files, thanks for coming in. Appreciate that.
Everybody does. Hey, Bud Files. Everybody does it. It gets
Mhm.
confusing when we
Yes,
do
when you've
the
got
2.
dual.
Mhm. Yeah.
Yeah. So
I've done
for
that
those
too
for
on another chat, gone into
Mhm,
not the
mhm,
main chat, thought I was in the main chat, and then realized I
mhm.
wasn't.
Yeah, so for those of you that have not been a part of us doing co-streaming, the main chat is me and Carol's co-streaming, so you
Yes.
don't always see, you won't always see the conversations, like, if I post something, so well, that's a very good thing.
Oh
So that's
my.
that's against Celsius, let me tell you what it is Fahrenheit,
Oh,
that's
okay. It's like 60.
68.
Okay, 68.
68. Yeah. So, and that
Wow.
was not -20.
I
Yeah, I was
know.
hearing
I was like, "What?"
hearing next week. So,
Hey,
hey,
Tibor.
Tibor.
Good to see
Thanks
you.
for coming in. Haven't seen you in a while.
Yeah.
Awesome,
He
awesome. How are you?
sometimes makes the daytime. Yeah,
Mm,
how's your weather, Tibor? We're talking about how the mild winter, at least for Florida and some other places too, even where Shawnee is, the bug caused more bug pressure than
mm,
hiding.
mhm.
Oh, no.
So Sean says he moved to a friend's property for the time being, and there are a
Okay.
chorus of frogs outside and no noticeable mosquitoes. Ladybugs are considered a nuisance up here because there's so many, a bunch of chickens roaming around and friendly dogs. Oh, I
Well,
love
bag up those make some money. Bag up those ladybugs. Send some down. Put them in the
Mhm.
freezer, make them go to sleep, or the fridge, I think it is.
Yeah, I don't think you
I
freeze
don't
them.
want you to kill them. Here's your frozen
Exactly.
conk conk ladybug.
You've been hiding, and it's chilly here too. And ladies and gentlemen, entering to the stage for the first time here on this live chat,
Hey,
we have almost a green
Hey,
acre.
hey, Alyssa Greenacre, welcome
Do you
to the
go by
panel.
Krista or do you go by almost a green acre?
uh, give me a
Hold on,
second.
she's doing her thing.
Well, I have two voices going on, guys.
Right. So you're gonna need to turn off the original video or mute it at least.
Mute the original on YouTube.
Okay.
Mhm.
I have 3 accounts. And so
Wow.
Google is making it very difficult because when I signed out of Almost a Green Acre in order to sign out so that I could go get my email, it cut me off of YouTube altogether. It kicked me out.
Mhm.
So that's something that I didn't know. Like I can't interchange, I guess, between and when you said that you sent me the email, I needed to actually sign out of one account in order to go into the other.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So I just have my like I like I have a Diva in the Dirt account, but then I also have a Gmail account.
Yeah,
And
I have those too.
yeah. So
Yeah. It
so
gets
Darth says I live across the street from a swamp. There's always bugs. And I don't want to eat some frozen ladybugs.
no, thank
Tibor
you.
says 88 today for a solid week
Here it comes. Yeah.
of 90 starting
Yeah.
tomorrow. Yeah.
Yep. The oven is coming.
Mhm. You don't really see them alive, and you just know they're around because you come home to their corpses strewn everywhere off of the
Oh, that's terrible.
it's always sad.
Little dead ladybugs everywhere.
Mhm. Yeah, so water,
Yes.
water, everything, Oh, you gotta be from Canada? What was your first clue?
I don't think she sounds like she's from Canada at all. No, not at all. I don't hear it in
Mhm.
either one of them. More so, I
No.
do hear it in Almost a Green Acre.
Is it okay if we call you by your first name?
Yeah, call me Krista. That's my
Okay.
name.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, well, no, some people, they like
They
to
don't.
keep the anonymity
Oh
and,
no,
okay, no.
I'm
Yeah.
I'm
Well, you
I'm pretty much an open book.
and you're in New Brunswick, right?
I'm in New Brunswick, right beside the state of Maine. Yeah.
Oh, there you go.
So
Mhm.
I'm on Atlantic Standard Time, not the East Coast time. I'm Atlantic Standard Time.
Mhm.
One more hour forward, like from
Yes.
us. Okay,
Yeah.
yeah. Maureen had to explain that to me. I'm like, that's so odd because we think we are like the be all and end all in North America, the EST time.
Right.
You guys
Now
think
there's
you're
We
the
are
last
not.
time? Mm-mm.
Nope.
But wait,
there's
there's more.
It is a lovely accent. I agree. Green Country Agroforestry. It
well,
is.
I probably get my accent because I've moved around quite a bit.
Mm-hmm.
So originally I was actually born in Sudbury, Ontario, but I grew up in New Brunswick. And my parents were split when I was very young. So my dad actually moved to Manitoba. So I
Mm.
spent a lot of time in Manitoba, which is right beside North Dakota and right on the border. And so I spent quite a bit of time there, had two babies, graduated high school, returned back to New Brunswick, back to Manitoba, then Ontario. Oh,
Wow.
and in between all that, I lived in South Dakota for about a year.
Oh,
Wow.
wow.
Yeah.
Right.
How was
You
South Dakota, by the way? You'll have to tell us about that when after Maureen asks you, whatever.
no,
Yeah.
we can still talk about that.
Okay. I just wondered because I've heard South and North Dakota are supposedly great places to raise a family. And for me, as a Floridian, they're not because I would freeze to death. But what did you think were some positives and like negatives for you compared to going back up to Canada?
Well, that was a very long time ago. It was,
Oh, okay.
yeah, it was in, just trying to think of the year. It was in 1991, the year that I had gotten married.
Mm,
And I had relocated because I was working at a transport company that relocated its head office to South Dakota.
okay.
So I was what they considered to be integral, I guess, in the functions, I guess, because I did a lot with the truck drivers and used to do all of the licensing throughout all of the United States and Canada and
Oh,
stuff.
Wow.
So it was pretty interesting doing that. But we didn't stay very long because the Canadian part of the company, the bank basically called in the loan on the trucking company. And so there was a demand loan of like $800,000. And they didn't like the fact that the company changed headquarters. So they ended up calling in the loan on the company. And
Wow.
so they ended up foreclosing on the Canadian operation end of things, and they put basically a lock and padlock and chain around the whole gate and everything, and
My.
enclosed a whole bunch of trucks and trailers, and it was quite
Oh,
a thing. So I was kind of stranded in the United States,
oh, how awful.
and
I'm sorry.
my brand new husband, even though I had a working visa,
Yeah.
they wouldn't approve his, and they would only let him come into the United States for like 4 or 5 days at a time.
Oh,
And then,
no.
yeah, then he had to report back there. So,
Mhm.
but anyway, it was a lovely area.
Okay.
I really enjoyed staying there. I met some wonderful people, and that's where I got pregnant for my very first daughter, actually.
Aw.
mm,
Yeah.
Aw.
nice.
So it was quite a long time ago.
Yeah, I
Mhm.
understand. I'm not good with 1991 right now either. I wouldn't even be like,
I had to
But
kidding.
go.
you're right. Compared to Florida, I mean, it's really cold. It
Yeah,
would
T
be,
people were saying that. He's like, he has a friend that
Yeah.
moved here and then goes back to North Dakota and it's free and freezes in July. Yeah, that's what I've heard kind of about North and South Dakota, that they're cold.
Here's Diva and I. We both got sweaters on. Apparently, our Canadian nighttime temperatures are pretty similar because I'm down to, I think right now it's 15 degrees.
Same here.
Yeah.
Wow.
And by morning, it'll probably be like, 9 or 10, maybe 11 if we're lucky.
Yeah.
So can you guys see all my peppers and whatnot behind me?
Oh, they look fabulous. They want to go outside.
Yeah, I'm gonna stand up. I don't know if I seem to be lagging.
Yeah, no,
you're good.
Yeah, they look fabulous.
They do.
So you are like, you're number one, you're new to doing YouTube, being almost a green acre. You're new to having a channel, right?
Yes.
I believe, because I just met you this past week. Right. And so yes, you have 64 subscribers and you're, pumping out some videos and things like that. What is your grow zone over in New Brunswick?
It's 5B.
5B.
What's this? I'm trying to read the comments too. Something about Manitoba comes to visit us. Oh, yes. Okay. Trying to look at the comments.
Okay.
We get a little bit of all of Canada, but we get a lot of Quebec.
What is yours, Diva? What's your grow zone?
I'm 9B.
Well, we're a huge difference.
Yeah. Oh, you're half mine. I'm 10B. And I'm actually 10B, 11A.
Yeah.
Yeah. And with 9B, like, because it's like my last frost date is in April, and then my first frost date is not until like November. So we have a very long growing season, and we do grow tropical plants here, and whatnot.
Yeah.
Now, with you growing, are you new to, planting and having a garden and things like that? Is that new to you?
No.
Okay, you've been doing it all along. But I did see, because as I read about, who you are and stuff, and that you bought this little, almost a whole acre, and you went and you went and built a tiny home on it.
I did. Yes.
Amazing.
2 years ago. Yeah.
That's amazing.
And so were you part of the building, or did you have builders build it?
No, I built it from scratch, right from the ground up.
Wow.
You yourself, or
Me,
contractors? Wow.
Me.
Wow.
Yeah. It's I would consider it to be like a 1-bedroom size apartment size. So it's 24 by 24. It's sitting on 9 concrete pillars that go down, 4.5 feet in the ground. I did have some help along the way.
Like a pylon.
My nephew came and helped me dig the holes for the sonotubes that had to go down, and he helped me mix the concrete up, and we poured that in. And but after that, everybody left me, and I had to frame up the they dropped the wood in my driveway, and away I went. Never built a damn thing in my life. Just
wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
But I had a circular saw, and I had a hammer, and I had hand saws, and I had drills, and yeah.
That's amazing. So
everybody's township, I guess, or municipality is slightly different. Because I went with the 24 by 24 footprint, that's 576 square feet. So in Canada, I think the law is, the national building code is 620 square feet and under. You don't need to build by the national building code. So
Wow.
The bonus of being under 600 square feet is that I didn't have to have the building inspectors come and inspect nothing.
Okay.
That's great. Yeah, they do that in certain places too.
Yeah.
Here, if you're under a certain amount of square feet, you're okay. People also build garages that then they therefore kind of inhabit, like they skirt
Yeah,
in
yeah,
America with the tiny homes.
it's kind of like a garage size, Carol.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Hmm.
That's what I
But I
find
mean,
it.
I am far from done. Like, I mean, it was 9 years ago, actually, this month. So this is June. So
Mhm.
9 years ago on June 3rd, I was involved in a car accident, and I was living in Ontario at the time, and working, my dream job with the Canadian, with the Children's Aid Society as a one-to-one worker. I had gone back to college as a mature student and became a social service worker, and was having a great career, right? And then I was involved in an accident, and life as I knew it really changed considerably for me. So,
Mm.
I had injuries before, before that time frame, but after the accident, it became rather clear right away that life was totally different. And so, anyway, to make a long story short, I haven't worked in the workforce since then. And I basically live off of a very small disability income, because now I have to deal with spinal injuries. I have pinched nerves in my neck, which affect my right, like basically 5 years ago. So I'm lifting my right arm like right now, like
Yeah.
above my head. 5 years ago, I couldn't even lift it above my shoulder height.
Mm.
Wow.
So, for 2 years after the car accident, from 2015 to 2017, I couldn't even walk without the aid of a walker.
Oh,
I lost my driver's license for 2 years, and
wow.
like we're talking chronic pain, on the scale
Thank
of
you,
1 to 10 was a constant 8, 9, 10 every day, 24/7, and that
Mm.
lasted for a 2-year period. So anyway, I was diagnosed with chronic chronic pain, fibromyalgia, disc
Mm.
damage in my pinched nerve in my neck,
Wow.
pinched nerve or pinched nerves in the lower part of my spine, which actually pinched my sciatic nerve in my left leg. So
Oh, so that's
Horrible. Yeah.
anyway,
Horrible
like,
pain.
yeah, a lot of pain. So
Mhm.
I've done a lot of healing. I, all the glory goes to God for that, for sure.
Mhm.
I've healed a lot in the past 9 years, and I've come to a place where I understand my limitations a lot better than I used to.
Mhm.
Because when you come from a place of you're constantly working and you're go 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 go, and to all of a sudden zero, nothing,
Yeah.
you can barely even move or function. Like, I mean, I couldn't even hold this coffee cup. Everything I held with my right hand I would drop. I couldn't
Mm.
even hold the weight of a pen in my right hand. I lost the ability to write even.
Oh my.
So
Wow.
when you go
How
from
scary.
when you go
Mm.
from everything to basically almost nothing,
Nothing.
my speech was slurred. My head hit the what's that thing called?
Steering wheel.
Steering wheel. Thank you. I cracked my nose. I had a really bad concussion. I had whiplash. Um, Anyway, so they diagnosed me with short-term memory loss and different things like that, and I lost the ability to even speak. Like, my speech was slurred, and
Mm.
what else? My train of thought, concentration, and that still affects me sometimes, even today. Like, sometimes people call it, you start to talk and then you get off on a rabbit trail.
Yes, yes, indeed.
So,
So we have, so Krista, we have gone out there and put up your channel name, and
Quick
we
one.
are encouraging,
oh, cool.
um, we are encouraging people to go
Yeah.
try to watch a short, or like, try to spend at least 3 minutes on Krista's channel and looking at stuff. Then like some things and then sub, because that seems to stick a little bit better. So yes, yeah. So Tibor, he just said, almost there, watched a video and gave you a thumbs up. And these are words we're not allowed to say. And so
Yeah.
he went to your house. He went
Yes,
to
it's
your,
our new term. Yes.
yeah. It's like, why don't you come to my house and I'll come over to your house?
Yes. We'll hang out a little bit, like for 3 minutes on each other's
Yeah,
house.
I just want to, just gonna come and sit on your
Have
stoop at your house for
Yeah,
3
there you
minutes,
go.
have a cup of coffee, like a couple things that you got. I wanna look at what you got to show me, because the algorithm picks up on these certain kinds of words, you
Okay.
know? Yeah,
Yeah.
and apparently they do not like it.
You did.
So, yes,
Yeah.
so
You guys have
that's
you guys have a lot more experience in that sort of algorithm and words sort of thing than I do. So
Yeah.
I'll just believe what you're telling me.
There's a lot of words that the algorithm doesn't like. Like pew
Mm.
pew, if you ever talk about that stuff, you can't say that.
Like
Okay.
things that go,
Bang bang,
um
yeah.
yeah. So
Yeah.
we just go, hey, because
Your hole
American.
puncher. You can call it a
A
hole
hole
puncher.
puncher. Oh, I haven't heard
Yeah.
that one, but they go
Hole
pew
puncher.
pew. You
Yeah.
wanna, it's like, do you have the big pew pew or you have the small pew pew?
Yeah. Freedom sticks, they call them freedom seeds. Like they come up with all kinds of terms because they couldn't say certain words. That's
I
the
don't
correct
see
it.
TB is not in your chat, I don't think,
No,
Maureen.
so what
Oh,
what the co-stream. So he's over
Yeah.
in Carol's.
okay.
Mhm.
Yes.
Right.
Oh, very
So,
aggressive hole puncher. That's another
Mhm.
name for it. It's a
Yes.
very aggressive hole
But things
puncher.
like that, there's things like that, and talking about what happened in 2020, you don't usually use the full word,
Use
but
any of
other
those
channels
terms.
can get away with it that are bigger, which just
So
aggravates.
you just try to, and who wants to give any credit to that 2020 crap anyway?
Yeah.
So, hey, Gail Hooper, thanks for coming in. Appreciate that.
Yep.
Oh, what's this one? Mechanical powder actuated hole puncher.
That's
Office
way too
supplies.
much.
That's a lot of words to
Way too much.
remember.
Yeah. Yep.
Ooh.
Yep.
so I did I think I
So,
did a
so you've been
video.
growing for a long time.
Oops. Oh, something
Whoops.
glitched. Hold on. It was a little glitch. Okay, go ahead. What?
Oh no, I was just saying to Diva that I thought I did a video, I guess it was probably about a week ago, where I was getting a whole bunch of plants in the ground that I started from seed inside the house. So I put in a bunch of sunflowers. I had a few perennials, some lupins and different things, and I had a crap load of nasturtiums, right? Which is my favorite
Mhm.
flower.
Yeah, love
Well,
them.
Mhm.
guess what? The slugs have had a feast.
Oh no.
They have chowed everything down out there. I don't even think they're even eating the marigolds that I planted.
I just went out and my marigolds were eaten after the brainstorm that I had.
No kidding. I mean,
Yeah.
it's really discouraging. And I mean, I have all
Right.
these peppers and tomato plants that need to go in the ground, and I'm really concerned because the slugs are just
Pretty
just
wicked.
nuts. So I'm gonna have to go get some slug bait or something. I mean,
Mhm.
I
I
definitely
didn't know that that slugs like nasturtiums, because I have nasturtiums like up the wazoo, and being on the wet coast over here, slugs are very
Mhm.
prolific here for us.
well, they've
Mhm.
eaten my cosmos, they've eaten the nasturtiums, they've eaten the sunflowers. Actually,
Wow.
when I do a video this coming week,
Mhm.
I'll show you the damage that they've done. They've actually plowed off at least 2 or 3 of my big hostas, gone. I mean,
Okay.
the great big elephant ear,
Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
hostas? Well,
Yeah.
Yes.
one of them is completely practically wiped down to ground level.
Do you have deer
Wow.
though? Deer will do that too.
Do I have
The deer
what?
will
Deer.
deer.
Do you have deer?
Oh, no, these are definitely, you can tell that they're slugs because of the way they
It's
have the
eaten away.
holes. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Because they
Mhm.
love
So
hostas. That's all I just was asking because yeah,
I'm not sure what I'm gonna do about it. But anyway, my gardener from Michigan, I don't know if you guys know him or not.
yeah, no.
Okay. So he I guess it was last week, he gave a recipe for to spray on all your plants, and it's using garlic and onion and
Mhm.
all
Mm.
kinds. So
Yeah.
I made up 2 batches, and it's been sitting for about 3 days.
Oh, it'll be great. Nice and potent.
Yeah.
Mhm. So it is also called a high velocity lead spreader.
I love that one, Barry. That's great.
So Tibor says must have a new bug on the
I
continent.
know, right? It feels like it.
Mhm.
The way stuff is just getting eaten alive this year.
Mhm.
But that's not been my huge focus. Like, I mean, I wanted to, the only reason that I started a bunch of these plants anyway was to see if I could do
Mhm.
peppers from seed. I mean, that's not been my gardening style in the past.
Right.
Typically, I've always like in-ground planted or
Right.
bought starts from the store.
Right.
So I think when you buy starts, I think the slugs don't bother them so as much, probably,
Right.
Mhm.
than the little babies that they're able to, basically get at really quick.
Right. Hey,
True.
growing out the box. Thanks for coming in. Just a
Yeah.
little side note, yeah, because we haven't seen you for a while. Because I did email you the other day and said, asked you some questions and whatever. I did some more research, and for the one that I have, or maybe I emailed you and told you about it. I don't know, but anyway, because it comes with the red. It's not this, but it's like two sides, and they both have black ends. I have to have a black end and a gray end. And so I ordered one from Amazon. It came in today, cost me another $25. And I tested it out and it works and it's so nice. So thank you again for your help because it's going to make such a difference. So I do really appreciate you taking that time for me,
Mhm.
sir. Mhm. Anyway, let me get back into the chat here. Oh, oh, Pez
Yeah.
dispensers for trouble youth. That's
Yep.
another interesting one. But I wanted to see, Gail said, I see small flies like young flies on some of my stuff. I use cayenne water on them. It helps.
Mhm.
Mhm.
Mm. Oh,
Yeah.
Passamaquoddy. Hi.
No,
Thanks
it's
for
good to
coming
see
in.
you.
Oh, Growing Out the Box says yeast and molasses deals with slugs. Do you make that
Oh,
as a spray?
that's
And can
interesting.
you give us
A little
uh
more. Yeah, a little more.
like
Is it?
like how much of what? Yeah.
Mhm.
Storm says, like poo-poo juice or Laura's compost tea, you would think the smell would run them off.
Right? Yeah,
Yes.
beer is great. That's what I always say, storms too. Beer bath or a beer pool. That's what I'm going to put out for mine for the
Yeah.
snails.
I found one time where I put out the little cups of beer, sunk them into the ground,
Mhm.
and I got some. And then the next time I did it, it was like,
Yeah.
nope. They were like, "Hey, I've been to
Maybe you gotta
AA."
change can do a different type of container. Like people use tuna containers. I've seen those have been pretty effective for people. And they
Mm.
just sit it on the ground. They don't drop it in or anything.
Yeah. Well, the dropping it in just makes it easy for them to
Yeah, for
just
them to just fall off
fall
and
in.
die.
No, they've all gone to AA and they're all, don't go over there. We will not go and drink.
Uh,
So Darth X says, growing out of the box, I was watching your way video. Yeah, I'm going to be doing some my plan is, I had a lot of plans this year of things that how I wanted the garden to be. And it's like
right.
the weather has changed it, a little bit of my health, these little stops where I have to, stop and take care of my health for a bit and then come back in. It's like it's pulling me back. But I wanted to make the LAB that's part of Korean natural farming and that
Mhm.
concoction. And you do use whey. Um so growing
Yeah.
out my own. You came up in case of okay.
Yeah, when I was doing growing out of the box, uh,
Okay.
that popped up. So in case they
Yeah.
were in the bushes and I didn't see them earlier.
Yeah. So yeah, the Bull's a cheap beer. It worked once for me, and then after that, nope. So
Weird.
yes, I thank you, growing out the box.
Mhm.
I am looking forward to it when I test it out. Um, the the road the road 2 or whatever is the one I have.
Yeah.
It's like it's present, and there's no when the wind's blowing, you're not going to hear that because it has the dead cat on my little lapel. So I'm going to be.
I just
This bugs you when I do this? Because it's probably, it's
funny.
probably wrecking the wires that are tied
Yeah,
inside.
yeah, he might do
So,
audio.
uh,
The audio people, you mess around with the cords, they're always like,
mhm. Or load a sprayer with salty water and spray to your heart's content. Mm. Yeah, because yes, like a little bit of salt is not bad for the garden. It's actually quite good. Slugs, not sluggards. And then just Tibor saying hi to Sean. And then growing out the box, it's a trap. People say beer, but it's the yeast and sugar in the fermentation of the beer that they're attracted to.
okay.
So drink your beer.
I can't drink beer because of the
Oh,
fermentation.
I
It's
did
like,
it.
"You did it."
I did it again, and so he's like, "Stop doing them, Sean. Bend them faster. Whip
My
them around."
my
Wow.
troublemakers and my got the troublemakers.
Yeah. So Krista, so you have been growing for a long time, but the YouTube channel is new. And so have you always grown like food to, feed your family, or is it just a summer project? Like, do you have foods that you could do preserving and things like that?
Oh,
Oh, you're
you're
muted. Oh,
muted.
you've
What
muted
happened?
yourself, darling. So just go down at the bottom
Yeah,
there.
I guess I had to cough, so I muted
Oh,
myself.
I do the same thing all the time.
yeah.
Probably for, literally, I don't know, almost 40 years. I've done a little bit of all of that, planted in the ground, planted in containers. But I became a single mother. Basically, I think I mentioned earlier that I was married in 1991 when we moved to South Dakota. And
Mhm.
then basically in 1992, I moved back to Canada and had my first daughter in 1992. And then my second daughter, she was born. Well, basically, I became pregnant for her in, oh my goodness, 1993. So there's only literally 15 months between both of my daughters. And
Okay. Yeah.
I was 3 months pregnant for my second daughter when my husband and I split up. So
Oh,
I raised
wow.
raised both of my daughters as a single mom. And so, I mean, I'm sure folks in the chat can relate to that. And
Absolutely.
you have friends and family that have gone through that. I mean, as a single parent, I mean, you're busy.
Mhm.
Life is busy.
Mhm.
You're running kids around, you're preparing meals, you're home
Mm.
cooking, you're doing homework.
Earning
Yeah,
earning an income.
you're working your tush off, you're going grocery shopping, you're doing all the things with two babies and two diaper bags and a double
I know.
stroller, right? For
Yeah,
years.
yeah, yeah. Well, and you
So,
weren't married for very long either. Like, it's like
no,
you had the first one, and then 13 months later, you're
yeah,
having the second, and then halfway through that one. So you were just, a young bride for, a couple of years, and then you weren't,
yeah.
and, just enough
Actually,
to get your treasures.
I was separated longer than I was married. We were separated for 18 years, legally separated for 18 years before we got a divorce, actually.
Wow.
Wow.
I mean, not to say that I didn't have relationships in that time. I mean, I did
Yeah.
have,
Yes.
two other significant relationships in that time, and things just didn't work out or whatever.
Yeah.
But anyway,
Yes.
gardening
Oh,
has always been a passion of mine. I've always loved to grow things, and I learned very early on, like probably back in my 20s, that it was through a process of going through. I was having a lot of uh, like headaches and just different issues.
mhm.
And so I went to see a specialist at the time who did allergies and food additives and that sort of thing.
Mhm.
And way back then, it's nothing like it is nowadays. And way back then, they basically suggested that I, through the process of elimination,
Mhm.
whatever it is, test it out. Like, just
Yep.
eat carrots, just eat peas, just eat, and see what
Mhm.
you react to. So I had to go through all of that. And I came to the realization in my 20s that I was actually allergic to anything that had MSG in it.
Yeah.
Right.
A common one.
Yeah,
Yep.
and so when I realized that, that it was in my 20s where I stopped actually buying a lot of processed food and started making my own. You know,
Brilliant.
so I've been doing a lot of that ever since then. So when it comes to spaghetti sauces, lasagna, anything
Mhm.
homemade,
Yes.
I've been, because I don't like the preservatives that they put in things.
Yeah.
No.
And
Sadly.
now we're finding out, decades later, I mean, just how devastating it is to our bodies. And
Mhm.
Yes.
Yep.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
you
Yep.
guys know, everybody knows that. So
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
Yep.
there is like it is stuff that's worth repeating, it's
Yeah.
always worth repeating.
Yeah. I'm
So,
always surprised that there are people that really do not know that,
yeah.
that they
like,
go,
that it's an
"Oh,
excitotoxin
yeah,
and that
yeah."
it's toxic to
Or
your brain. And
or
no,
you
you don't.
see I've seen homesteaders, or like, people that are in the homesteading world and they're gardeners
Yeah.
and stuff like that, and they're going grocery shopping, and it's like, "Why are you putting those cookies into your cart for your kids? What the heck are you doing?" But, I think sometimes when you have young kids, it's like,
Mhm.
Yeah.
I gotta have some of this fast food stuff. So
Yeah.
Pastor McQuaddy,
Yeah.
she said she did it with 4 kids,
Yeah.
and, Sean, he said he can't relate to being a single mom.
That would be
There's always a
different.
little smart butt in the room, you
Uh-huh.
know?
He's our
Well,
yep.
look at the research that they're coming out with now. I've seen recently on a few
Yeah.
news articles and stuff about the additives that they put in children's cereal.
Mhm. Mhm.
Mhm.
That's a big one. I mean,
The hormone disruptors.
they're poisoning us,
Isn't that
right? And
wonderful?
Yes.
Yeah.
it's just, and I mean, but
Brenda.
we've been too gullible too long.
Yeah,
Mhm.
well, and the thing is but the other part is it is the gullible, but there's also the whole idea of McDonald's. It's not what they sell. They don't sell it's not the food they sell the convenience. You've
Mhm.
got
Mhm.
like, I'm a mom of 5 kids. I always, had a 7-passenger minivan. We never were McDonald's people because I just was never a McDonald's person as a kid. It was,
Yeah.
we always ate, we didn't do a lot of fast food. But if you're a mom, 5 kids, and pick them up from school, got to take this one to soccer practice, this one over here. What are you
Yeah.
going to do? I'm going to buy the convenience food, even though you can see it everywhere that there is no nutritional value in the food. The food is so preserved. Like in Iceland, they removed all the McDonald's, and on
Mhm.
display they have a cheeseburger and a fries, no lettuce, no tomato or whatever. The bun, the meat, and the fries still, like, and it's been there for like 20 years and it's looking exactly the same. You can show people all of this, but they
Wow.
go, but I got 5 kids and I have 15 minutes from point A to point B. This one is
Right.
screaming, that one is over there.
Right.
I'm buying the cheeseburgers and I'm throwing them. So you're buying the convenience, not thinking of the devastating effect it's going to be into your future. You're just in the moment, and I need that now, and it's like, again, it's like, okay, as a mom, then okay, prep food, la 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 la,
Mhm.
so yeah.
It's
Yeah.
not necessarily always just the convenience either. Like sometimes, it can be a financial thing.
Mhm.
Mhm.
It's actually
Yes.
cheaper to buy processed food than it is to, go and buy all this organic stuff. And by the time everything's said and done, and I mean, I can really see where people are struggling. I mean, for 4 years, up until 2 years ago, I spent 4 years volunteering at I guess it's a soup kitchen where they provide meals 365 days a year, one nutritious meal per day. So when I first started volunteering there, there were 80 people that came through that door on a daily basis. Well, by the
Wow.
time 4 years had gone by, now they're up to anywhere between 180 and 240 people. And we're not just talking about homeless people here. We're talking about working class poor.
Yep.
We're talking about elderly. We're talking about children. We're talking about people that are disabled that are pulling up in wheelchairs
Yeah.
and
Mhm.
crutches, and these folks can't afford to eat.
Right.
So, you know, for them, for anybody to tell them, like a nutritionalist or whatever, oh, you're not getting enough roughage in your meals or your diet. You need to add more of this and add more veggies and add more. Well, they can't afford it. They can
Right.
only afford basically frozen vegetables or vegetables in a can.
Mhm.
That is the burger and fries that goes traveling. It has its own Instagram, I just found out, in Iceland. Yep.
Oh,
They're like, "Where are we now with our burger and fries?" Yeah.
Yeah, but the thing
Deal.
is that even
Yeah.
when, like, I didn't raise my kids to eat McDonald's, but I find McDonald's bags in people's cars or in my garbage outside. It's like, who's eating,
Mm,
and it's just like, "Ma, it
there
was
it
just
is.
convenience."
There
Like,
we go.
look at that.
Yeah. It's just a little faded, but yeah, that's ridiculous. That
well,
is so
once upon a time,
11 years
McDonald's
later.
was actually considered to be the cheap place to go eat out. And,
Right.
you know,
It's
nowadays
$18,
it's not
you
cheap
know?
now. I
No,
mean,
it's
Mm-mm,
not.
mm-mm.
Nothing is.
But again, you're buying the convenience of it.
right.
Yeah.
So I do like this. If the church was more unified, a lot more wouldn't be an issue with the church because we'd be helping saints shoulder the burdens. Absolutely.
Yeah.
And it's like my church, we and just as you said, Krista, is that like we have it's called Tuesday Market. And
Mhm.
they have a little system on how, everybody comes and you go through and they set it up and they kind of figure out how many people are going to end up being there. So you go, okay, we're looking at this week it's going to be 100 people, and so then they kind of designate what they have. So if it is a big potato thing, it's like, oh, have as many potatoes as you want, and you have a shopper that goes with you and picks all the things out and puts them all into bags for you to take. And two of my children or three of my children have taken part in that because they fell on a little bit of hard times. And when I've gone to go and get their little ticket for them, it's working class people that are there. It's not
Yes.
like you said, the homeless. But down another street here, we have a little Korean church, just a little house on a big piece of property, and it just grows up 3-foot weeds everywhere, of grasses, and then they mow it down, and you go right there. Why is that not being turned into gardens? It's
Mhm.
like my church does have, we are associated, again, not going like my church is the best. Like we are
Yeah.
just a small little drop of helping, but we do have a farm that actually brings fresh. They was cut that day lettuce and chards and
Yes.
broccolis and things. So they are bringing in fresh pick today. It's not leftovers. It's not
Mhm.
seconds. So the people that do come to our Tuesday market, they do actually get good food. But if every church did something like that,
Right.
it would make such a difference.
And even
So,
just in also homeowners associations, there's always an area that is, they're putting in bushes and trees and things like that to make the community look nice. What if they put in edibles and they had a club that did that and handed it
mhm,
out to people within the
exactly.
community? Yeah.
Exactly. So Tibor, yeah, when it was 5 kids in my family riding around in a Ford wagon, no seatbelts. Okay,
Right?
so
Oh,
yes,
shoot. I
yeah,
see.
I
There it
also am
is.
the youngest of 5, but we were never misbehaving in like we weren't a bunch of hellions on wheels for our parents. You behaved, you were, same with my kids. I could take them out to any high-end restaurant and my kids were never disruptive at all. So hey CR, thank you. You are here to show some encouragement. Um, so Sean says, I found ways to eat cleaner on a budget, but you've got to be savvy on them deals and be willing to eat according to what's on sale. Yes. And if it has a couple of blemishes on it, cut it off and
Exactly.
eat it, you know?
And those are things that I've learned to do, like, over the years, and I think that that was one of the reasons that I actually wanted to start this YouTube channel, actually, because number one, my daughter had given me, oh, here it is right here, I'll show it to you. So she gave me this little tripod for my Mother's Day gift.
Oh, Nice.
Yeah. So, because I was talking to them last year about, thinking about starting a YouTube channel. And so for Mother's Day, she knows that if she's going to get it for me, that I'll put it to use. So I'm like, okay, so here I'm opening up this gift, this tripod from my daughter. And I'm like, okay, I guess I really am going to have to put actions to my words here now and, start recording because they wanted to see. And I thought, maybe it's a good idea that they do, have something to look back on if anything ever happened to me.
Yep.
And now I'm a new grandma.
Oh,
you know,
congratulations.
Yeah,
So my
congratulations.
grandson is 5 months old, and
Aw.
these are things that he doesn't know about. Now, even
Right.
though both of my daughters have no interest in gardening or
Mhm.
doing much of that. I mean, one of the daughters does.
Mhm.
Maybe my grandson might. And now that I've started the channel, what I'm realizing too is that there's a lot of people out there that really don't have a clue how to garden.
Absolutely.
Like
It's true.
I've done I've actually done two one-on-one video chats with people in the United States, which I'm happy to do. I don't charge
Yeah.
or anything. They're just friends that I know, and
Mhm.
helping them set up a garden and talking to them and showing them how to collect seeds and
Mhm.
how to do different things in the gardening sphere of
Yeah.
things. And
Yeah.
I'm happy to do that. So what I'm realizing is that there's a lot of people out there that actually could use the skills that we all have,
Yes.
and
Absolutely.
that it's not a bad thing for us all to be sharing this knowledge with folks.
Exactly. And that's, the 2020 thing happened. I just want to read this. Oh, organic pasta's on sale. Okay, I'm eating pasta as my main carb for a while. Oh, that grass-fed beef is on sale. Beef, if that's what's for dinner, organic avocados, 4 for a buck. About to cut up, and that's exactly it. Being a mom of 5, I used to, again, confession, I used to buy I can't even think the Parmesan cheese that Kraft Parmesan cheese. It came in a big container
Yep.
like this. And, I would not buy it now, but back then I would buy it. And I think it was like $7.
Yep.
Yeah.
And I have 7 people I'm feeding. And it's on sale for 5. Well, guess who's going to buy 2 or 3 of them? Because by the time I finish this one, I'm going to need to buy the next one and it's going to be $7, but why not buy it,
That's right.
have
Yeah.
it at $5. So I've always bulk shopped. I've always bought big. I've always organized things that way. But, 2020 hit. I'm a jazz and blues singer. And it's like, you are the most non-essential people in the world. It was like
Yeah.
it was on
Yeah.
page 2 at the very bottom,
Right.
Entertainers, and yet we were doing some things online, and people were so desperate for, "It's so good to hear you sing," and things like that, or, hang out with people, online and stuff. And we started, so because I'm a non-grower at all. I loathed it. It was like, I don't like the dirty feeling. And but the way that the climate, not just the temperature, the climate of the time, you go, it's a little bit scary. And
Yeah.
when you see people running and stocking up on toilet paper, you go, what the heck? And I'm thinking, I wouldn't stock up on that. I would stock up on food that would feed my family. And that led to, I'm doing the growing, doing a little bit of, hey, we need to let's get some more of that and that. And then realizing with preservation of food, my mom canned jams, jellies, and pickles,
Yeah.
and probably a few other little things, but she didn't do meats. And then you stop and you go, oh, but her mother, my grandmother, also jams, jellies, and pickles, no meats. Her mother, so my great grandmother, she grew the chickens. She butchered them. She canned those up with no pressure canner. And I thought, it's becoming a lost art. We have forgotten how to take care of ourselves. So doing what you're doing, Krista, like, yeah, your girls are kind of like, yeah, I'm not really interested. But what would happen if all of a sudden, shoosh, something happens in this country that makes us go, you can't get that, you can't get this, you can't get that, we can't get anything. Like
Right.
this year in the Okanagan, which is it's like British Columbia is like, they are our stone fruit providers, and
They don't
there
have.
are there is zero stone fruit
That's
in the
right.
Okanagan,
Right.
and just so that you guys, in the States understand, it's
Sorry.
you can drive along as you're going through, and it's beautiful, it's warm, it's semi deserty kind of there, and you can be there's fruit stand, people who have peaches in their own yards. They'll towards the end of the season, they'll just start putting them out and giving them away because there's just so much fruit. But I forget what has happened in the Okanagan area that has stopped all stone fruits. So you go, what do you do when you don't have them? Oh, well, you see, I canned up all my peaches.
Mm-hmm.
I canned up all my peaches. I canned up, I'm my garden away from home is at a
Yeah.
blueberry farm, and he graciously 2 years ago, like before I started gardening there, he said, "Oh, the blueberry season is done. Why don't you come down and pick?" And I brought a friend with me. Well, we picked 40 pounds of blueberries for free.
Amazing.
We canned them all up, or I canned all mine up. So I have frozen blueberries, and then I have canned blueberries. So it's like, if something happens when the shift happened, then I will have food. I will have food for my family,
Mhm.
and that to me is what's important. So, sup GT.
Yeah, that's my big thing too, Ray. Like, I mean, I can't do everything, right? I'm just one person that happens to have, a crap load of physical issues, and I have a crap load of stuff that still needs to be done around here. Because
Mm.
what people don't realize is when what that we can't name
Mhm.
happened in
Yeah.
2020, right?
Yeah.
I had another property that I had actually sold in 2021, which was approximately about an hour away from where I am right now. And it was actually a full acre, but it was
Wow.
an older house, and it was 2 stories plus a basement, and it became very evident to me after living there for a year and a half and trying to maintain 14 chickens and a coop and do all the things that needed to get done, that I just didn't have enough physical stamina to be able to maintain this property. So I put the property on the market for sale during COVID. It's sold, I think, within, I don't know, 15 days or something like that.
Mhm.
But what I didn't realize at the time was that I couldn't turn around with the equity from the sale of my property, because my thinking in my brain
Mhm.
was that I wanted to downsize to a pretty much a postage stamp property in the city limits. So I wouldn't have a whole bunch of traveling, but I at least would have a front and backyard that I could still do my gardening, which I love to do, and
Mhm.
stuff like that. What I didn't realize was that COVID basically drove all the real estate prices up like
Mhm.
double and
Yeah.
triple. And with
Mhm.
the equity from the sale of my property, I couldn't afford to rebuy.
Mhm.
So I had no choice but to find this almost a green acre,
Mhm.
right? And basically build, because I did actually put all my stuff in storage, and I went into an apartment and I was renting, but the rent on that apartment was actually more money than I was
And you
actually making in a monthly disability check that I was getting.
Wow.
So
Wow.
in the short 6 months that I was there, I actually ate up 6 grand of the equity from the sale of that property.
Mm.
It was
Yep.
nuts.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, I mean, like,
Yeah.
I had to think fairly quickly as to what am I going to do here? And
Mhm.
so I put all my stuff in storage, and I found this property, and the godsend with this, I mean, it is 45 minutes from town.
Mhm.
But it came, with a good price tag, and it already had a well on the property.
Awesome.
So what I ended up doing, I don't know if you guys have seen in my little videos, there's a little shed I call it a
Mhm.
shack or a shed outside
Yeah.
my house. Well, I lived in that thing. Nobody knows that. Nobody knows I
Mhm.
lived in that for 8
Wow.
months.
Yeah.
Like
Wow.
I lived on this property while I was building that house. I had
Mhm.
no running water. I I didn't even have electricity for
Yeah.
probably 2, 3 months. You
Wow.
know, you name it. So,
That's amazing, Krista. That is absolutely
but
amazing.
I mean, I think everybody can do that, right?
Yeah.
Everybody has
If
the tenacity within themselves to do what they got to do, right?
yeah.
Mhm, mhm.
And I believe that. I believe in people, and I just think that this
Oh, okay.
community is just such a blessing to each, not only to each other, but also to, to everybody that doesn't have the information that's needed. Like
Yes, yes, to the
somebody out
world.
right,
Mhm.
somebody out there in the gardening and homesteading world, when it comes time for me, by the time um, okay, so let me back up just here slightly. I'm going off on a rabbit trail. So that shed that I lived in for 8 months, in order to get hydro into this property, I had to actually put in an electrical entrance, a 200 amp electrical entrance into that shack outside. And by the time I
Mhm.
actually paid the electrician to come in and hook up, you know, 4 plugs inside or 5 plugs inside and a light bulb on my ceiling and an outside outlet, hook up my well for my submergible pump to run. And so all that, to say all that, cost me 26 or $2,700, right?
Wow.
So by the time that was in May or June of
Mhm.
2022. By the time I built this tiny home, by October of 2022,
Mhm.
and then I called the electrician back to come and basically move the entrance from the shack into my house, which is
Right,
only literally 10 feet away from where I'm now
Mhm.
sitting. He
Right.
wanted an additional $3,000 to $4,000.
Yes, that sounds right.
Right?
Mhm.
Right,
Mhm.
Carol? So
Well,
I'm like, I
yep.
can't afford that.
I
Like,
know.
so anyway, yeah, it's just been one challenge after another
mhm.
with
Mhm.
The
this thing that we won't name.
Yeah.
Is there
the
actually
interest
is there a code for that, ladies? Is there,
The woohoo flu. You
oh,
just come up
okay.
or
with
the or well, somebody said the other
the
night,
red
the
dragon. I've
year
heard that. Yeah.
the year we won't mention.
The year that will not be
Oh,
named.
Yeah, the
the
year
year.
that will not be named. So,
Okay, yeah,
Duncan says, "I'm glad I grew up gardening and canning. My mom canned over 3,000 quarts of food every year, plus we hunted
exactly.
fish and fished for our food." And we
Wow.
need to be able to,
Do
to
that again. Yeah.
do that again, and it's like, yes, creating those memories, as CR had said, it's
Mhm.
so, and
Yeah.
I love this, Sean, parmesan. It's
Cheese.
not
That's right. It
cheese,
ain't cheese.
So
Cellulose.
exactly.
so going forward, some of the things, because I can't do everything, right?
Right.
No,
And neither
no.
can you guys do everything, but we can
Right.
do a little bit of something
Yeah.
each. You know, if you break the year down into 4 quarters, you can do something each
Mm.
quarter. And, you know, my thinking with these peppers and stuff like that behind me was that I wanted to grow my own bell peppers, my own hot peppers,
Mhm.
and some Roma tomatoes to
Yeah.
basically be able to make my own hot sauce and salsa,
Absolutely.
right?
Mhm,
And
Yeah.
if that's all I could do this year for gardening, then I'm happy with those. You
mhm.
know, all I want to make is salsa and hot sauce. That's it. That's all.
Yeah.
But have you ladies taken a look at what the jars cost nowadays for preserving?
Mhm.
I haven't
Have
gone
you?
in.
You haven't even
I
looked?
haven't
I
I
haven't gone
haven't
in lately. I have some. I haven't gone in and checked
I
the
haven't
prices
looked,
now.
but back in 2020, it was like, a set of quart jars, you could get it for $10, and sometimes if you bought, and then if you bought 3, they'd bring it down to $8 for
Uh-uh.
quarts.
Mm-mm.
That's what it was in 2020. So
Yeah,
what did
2020.
what did mama do?
Bought a lot of them.
Bought a lot of jars,
I
Yeah.
and
didn't
then
buy I didn't buy any back then because I mean
Yeah, you
obviously
were
my
shifting.
money was elsewhere.
I need electricity.
Yeah,
Yeah,
well, I
so
mean, I had
kind of
electricity
important.
in 2020. But anyway, no, I mean, I'm still sitting here. I haven't got everything done. So
Yeah.
they want an additional $3,000 to $4,000. So
Mhm.
basically what I ended up doing was I'm using really
Just one moment, Krista. I
Yeah.
just want to present to the stage Laura Hedgehog
Yay!
Homestead.
Hey, Laura.
Hi, guys.
Good
Hi,
to see
Laura.
you.
Nice to
So-
meet you, Krista. I don't
Nice
think we
to meet
met
you.
before.
Mhm.
Yeah, nice to meet you as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. So go ahead, Krista. So about the jars.
Yeah, so anyway, so I still don't have electricity inside this tiny house. It's basically sitting 10 feet away from me. So I basically invested in the really heavy duty outdoor extension cords.
Mhm.
So basically, I drilled a hole in the side of the shack out there, and I ran the extension cords inside the shed.
That's
And
incredible.
I have a hole at the back side of my house where the extension cords are coming in here, which gives me electricity in here to run lights, my fridge, my computer, my internet.
Yeah.
Because so anyway, I don't have $3,000 kicking around to be able to do rewiring and all that sort
They
of thing.
did that to us, Krista. We had
Yeah.
to, I don't know if you were on my channel when it happened, but at the beginning of this year, you have to have homeowners insurance, of course, to protect your property
Yeah.
in Florida, you know, if you still carry a mortgage. Well, they're leaving Florida, of course, because we're not a good investment with all our hurricanes. And the one we had was leaving. We had to get a new one. Found out that we needed to rewire our whole electrical box because
Yeah.
the electrical box,
Wow.
well, that we thought was the job there, and they quoted us. Oh no, there's an interior and exterior box, and they wanted to charge like $4,000 for this, and then we had to shell out another $3,000 because we realized they didn't tell us about the box outside that had to be done when
Yeah.
they came and quoted it. They're like, they didn't tell us they were only quoting us for the one, and we were so naive, we didn't know. So
Yeah.
like we shelled out like 6,000, I think it was total,
Mhm.
little over beginning of the year to start the year, and it was like, I'm so glad that we were able to do that.
Yeah.
You know,
Mhm.
some people wouldn't be able to do that, and they would have to sell their home just from that alone, because
Mhm.
Wow.
that could be
Yeah.
the amount that sinks them.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So anyway, everybody has their challenges that they
Yes.
have to deal with. You know, I look at my life. I mean, I actually think I'm really blessed. You know, I have a roof over my head. My walls are all insulated. I insulated them myself. I know
That you built yourself.
I
That's the
know how
amazing
well
thing.
insulated they are, and I don't care if I'm looking at, I don't, if you guys can see behind me here, rather than looking at insulation and vapor barrier, I went to the Salvation Army and the thrift stores, and I bought a bunch of bags of just rags, like pieces of fabric, and I took out my staple gun and I started stapling it up on my walls. I thought, well, if I'm going to look at vapor barrier, I might as well look at something that looks like wallpaper, you know? So,
Mhm.
you know,
Mhm.
so I just something different, right? And I mean, of course, it's all going to have to get ripped down when I do start doing the wiring
Mhm.
in each section. So I'll do it in little sections, but those are things that I'm focusing on, like, you know, dehydrating things. So if you see, you guys were talking earlier about spaghetti being on sale. So things like that, you know, go bad very quickly, like mushrooms, for instance, right? And actually the best price that you can actually probably get mushrooms on sale right now is Costco. You know, compared to
Mhm.
any other grocery store out there, Costco has the best price. And so when it comes time for me, once I get some of these garden beds done outside, those are things that I'm going to be focusing on. So rather than I'll go buy a crap load of mushrooms and then I'll bring them home and I'll clean them and I'll wash them and I'll dig out my dehydrator and I'm going to dehydrate all those mushrooms so that I can use them this winter when I need them. Right.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And the same with, you know, like you said, Diva, the fruits and stuff like that, strawberries and blueberries. Well, even if I can't get them preserved, well, what's the next best thing? Freeze them,
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
right?
Yep.
That's
Freeze them,
preserving them.
Freeze them
Right.
or dehydrate them. One of
Yeah.
the things that I learned from YouTube channels this year, because I
Yeah.
actually did away with my Prime. I don't have Prime. Well, actually, hold on. No, I do have Prime. My daughter and her boyfriend allowed me to have their password, but every time I go on there, I can never find anything to watch.
Right.
So
Right.
I just made a decision that my TV time from now on is going to be nothing but YouTube channels of things that I'm interested in,
Right.
so that I can watch you, Carol. I can watch you,
Oh,
Maureen.
bless you.
Mhm,
I can
mhm.
watch you now, Laura. Once I figure out what your channel name is and add you, right?
Mhm.
Because you guys all know stuff that I may not know. And I
Mhm.
was watching this a couple of months ago, and I did not know that I could dehydrate eggs in my
Oh,
dehydrator.
yeah.
So
Mhm.
this lady showed me how to just
Mhm.
use what's it called?
The dehydrator trays to do
No,
it.
but my trays have holes in them, so you have to
Oh,
build.
you get the film for them.
Yeah,
that?
so you build the film, you make a little basket, you whisk up your eggs, you pour it in there, and I'm like, wow. So
Mm.
she dehydrated her eggs, she put it in, and then she showed, the DIY of what it looks like to rehydrate the eggs. And did
Mhm.
you guys know that you could do that?
Yeah.
I don't know if I knew about dehydration of that way in that form. I
Yeah.
did know about, using a freeze dryer. So
Yeah.
I don't think I've
No, the
ever seen
Yeah.
freeze
anybody
dry. I've seen
do a
the
dehydrator.
scrambled dehydrated. I haven't seen the raw. Yeah,
Yeah,
like what Diva said.
she did it raw, and she used and she put it in just a regular dehydrator, and I'm pretty
Wow.
sure it must have taken, I
I would
forget
be
now. I'd
so
have
nervous. I would
Oh
be
no,
so nervous that it
she
would
showed,
leak into something because
well, no,
I'm a little clumsy. That's
oh,
all for me.
it was parchment. So it was parchment paper. So she basically,
Sealed it with that.
made like a short little,
Mhm.
like, as if
Like
you
a lip all the way
like
around
a
so
lip,
it would stay.
as if you were wrapping a Christmas present kind of thing.
Okay.
And she
Mhm.
just poured the eggs right in there, and she put it in her regular dehydrator. And I was just flabbergasted that you could do this. And then she put it in a freezer bag, and she kept it in her freezer. And then she took it out. And this is what they did with all their extra eggs, right? This was extra eggs that they weren't using, right?
That's great.
And
Yeah.
so, and then during the winter, because there is a time frame, like, I mean,
Yeah.
at least when I had chickens, there is a time frame where they don't lay as much,
Mhm.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
Yeah,
during the,
especially when they're older.
yeah.
And
Mhm.
that.
So
Yep.
during the height of when your chickens are producing, like, I mean, for 14 chickens that I had, I was getting 7 dozen of eggs per week, right?
Mhm.
Wow.
Like clockwork
Mhm.
every week. And actually, I had more people that wanted to buy eggs. So I was doing really
Mhm.
well, but
Wow.
I couldn't maintain the chickens in the winter because of my fibromyalgia. It was
Right.
in the winter. I don't know if
Very hard.
anybody here on the panel has fibromyalgia or not,
Yeah,
but
I have the fibrofries.
okay, there
She
we
has it
go.
too. Yeah.
So you guys know what it feels like, especially in the winter, how chilled you get.
Mhm.
And just I mean, sometimes if my hair, like, I'll give you an example. If my hair gets too long,
Mm.
um I can tell by the cuticles, is that what they're called, where
Mhm.
The follicles, your hair
the
follicles.
Follicles.
follicles,
Yep.
if the hair
Mhm.
is too long and it pulls on those follicles, my
Mhm.
my scalp will actually hurt. It will ache.
Mhm.
Mhm.
I have to go get a haircut.
Wow.
Hmm.
But
That's
anyway, I had to get rid of the chickens. I really miss them. I think I was yeah, those were the most spoiledest chickens. I had bungee cord. I had bungee cords set up in the chicken coop, and I had this big it's like a big bolt that I would drill through a cabbage. I would take my drill and I would drill a hole through the cabbage, put this big bolt down through it, and then I would hang it from the inside of the chicken coop.
Oh,
Right.
cool.
And the chickens
Mhm.
loved this. It gave them something to do, and they weren't necessarily always picking on the two runts of the group,
Mhm.
right?
Mhm.
They could concentrate picking on this cabbage every week. Mind you, they had the cabbage gone in 2 days anyway.
Yeah. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I want to see what this candy roaster squash.
I've heard it's delicious. So I was just typing that if I was making the
So
typing
it's
face.
like, oh, okay. I want to go see what it looks like.
Candy roaster
I think
squash.
it's longer. It's like it gives you as much squash as a butternut. Like it's that type, I think. Everybody loves
It
it
looks
supposedly,
really
but
hearty.
yeah,
I just
it's
wanna-
really long, but they say it's kind of like a sweeter butternut. Is that
oops,
right,
let me
you
just-
guys?
That looks
I've
nice.
never grown it.
I
That would
haven't
be
either.
cool,
I
though.
don't grow squashes yet because I just don't want to deal with that.
And they're
Yeah,
saying
well,
you can use it as a
With the bugs.
pasta. Whoops. Shoot. I just
Whoopsie.
did that.
You
Look
see
at
that one guy
That-
holding it?
I know that's what I'm thinking. That could that a big one.
Oh my goodness. Wow.
It's huge.
And share this tab instead. There we go.
Wow.
Yeah.
See, you at least got a good picture. I can never get them that
can-
big. That's
You
great.
can, well, I put it on full screen layout for one. And then, and now I'm just going to go back. I don't know if I
Yeah.
can go back. Oh, yeah, I can. And now share this tab again. Having two screens makes a huge difference, Carol.
Yes.
So, and yes, that's the beauty of, let me just get rid of that. There we go. That's the beauty of squashes, especially winter squashes. You wipe them down with apple cider vinegar, put them in a cold storage, and they say they last 3 months, and some say 6. I've had a spaghetti squash in my larder for a year, brought it out, cut it up, beautiful inside. Ate it like, it was like August the following year. We're still eating the squash. And so you want to have those. I think I can remove. Nope. I don't know how to remove it from my thing now. Oh, stop sharing.
Yeah, stop
There
sharing.
we go. Yeah. It's like you think about what are the foods that I want to grow that have sustainability for my family and for things when if there is the hunger gap in growing, or if there is the hunger gap just in us, what we're able to purchase. Like you go, there are no peaches. So what do you think the price of peaches is going to be this coming year when they're being shipped from other countries, basically,
Yeah.
right?
Mm.
So yeah, so candy roaster squash, that is something that I would like to never seen it. And he uses it for pasta noodles. We use our spaghetti squash for pasta noodles. And let me just catch up with so yeah, Mike says I have 2 candy roasters left in the shell.
Yeah, it's amazing. That's what I was
What did-
responding to before, and I saw that.
What did you say? Did you say, Laura? I missed that.
Oh,
Sorry,
we
Laura.
use spaghetti, or we use zucchini for
Mhm.
spaghetti squash.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Whatever vegetable it is, it needs to be soft enough for me because I found out I used the zucchini and not fresh. I did do the frozen and prepared to try it because I just wanted to see if I could handle the texture. Theirs was too al dente, and I almost gagged
Yeah.
on it. I was like,
If you cook it enough, it's great.
yeah, it would have to be just soft for me to.
My husband likes it better than real noodles. So.
25 pounds.
Yeah, that's a lot of food, man.
Yeah.
That's like my
So-
bananas. People are like,
My-
all she grows is bananas. I'm like, I don't have to pay attention to them. And that's a lot of food.
With the zucchinis, my mom always does zucchini boats. So she takes the length of it, cuts it in half,
So
scoops
good.
out the center, and then she'll put in her spaghetti sauce and
Yep.
some cheese, bake
Mhm.
that up. And it's like, it's a super satisfying, delicious meal.
I've seen
So-
people scoop sausage into it before like that
Mhm.
too. And yeah, yummy. Now you made me hungry.
And zucchini too. Like my daughter is a vegetarian, and zucchini is one of those things that take on other flavors.
Yeah.
Really
Yep.
cool. So like
Yeah.
she would probably eat something like that, like as a burger kind of deal, right?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Batter
Yeah, I
it.
have that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. My dad used to get bumper crops. We ate a lot of zucchini growing up. So
Yeah.
I like it sometimes. And then other times I'm like, I don't really want zucchini.
I
But
still
I
have
mean, if
zucchini in the
you're-
freezer from last year, and I'm now getting
Kind
some
of
out of the garden. So,
Yeah.
but I mean,
I
you know,
still love it. Like my mom used to bread it in those, the Italian breadcrumbs.
mhm.
So I want to find a good, like gluten-free I can make the breadcrumbs, I know, but I'm still at least 80-20 or even 70-30 when it comes to making stuff from scratch versus grabbing convenience. But you will hear me always say, like, it's the less ingredients. I
Right.
can't eat any preservatives, a lot of organic. But I just don't have the time with Malachi, with a special needs son, to go fully self sufficient right now.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't want
So
to condemn those who can't either. Like, it's a wonderful lifestyle, but not everybody's in a position where they can. So you do one thing at a time that you can. Get rid of the one that's bad for you, add a good one in as far as foods.
hmm So if you hang rags around the chicken run, they won't pick on each other. That's an old trick I learned from my
Oh,
mom. Does
I
that
didn't,
work?
I didn't know that,
Wow.
Duncan. I wish I would have known that a few years ago.
It probably distracts them because they
Wow.
would always go for red on another chicken if another
hmm
chicken is bleeding.
Bleeding. So
Yeah.
okay, so that squash tastes like a mild sweet potato.
Okay.
Oh, and he grew it in Zone 4,
There
Minnesota.
you go.
Oh,
Perfect for you guys. Be
yeah.
fine. Well, you're
Mhm.
9. You can grow everything.
No, not everything.
Yes, our
Super cool.
comrade in fibromyalgia.
Yeah.
Not
Mhm,
something you want to be comrades in, but yes.
No, it's not. But
mhm. So Laura, what's new for you going on for you?
Uh, we have been spending a lot of time just trying to keep our hot water going, because we have such poor water volume that it
Oh,
creates water pressure issues. And we also have very hard water. And
mm,
but because of the water volume issue, we can't push enough hot water or enough water to keep the pressure up to keep our lines clean from the calcifications that come from the hard water.
Mhm.
And so, and if we put uh, filters on, it would just slow it down so we don't have any water.
right.
So we just shot a video today of us trying to clean out our lines again.
Oh, girl. I'm so sorry.
Yeah, so that's an issue. But at least we have water,
Yes,
It's
thank God.
we have to heat it up to do dishes and stuff like that, and
that's what I've been doing for 2 years.
yeah,
I
yeah,
haven't, yeah. So when winter rolls around here, like we get, I don't know where you are, Laura, but we get like minus 25, minus 30-degree weather.
yeah.
And so in 2022, once I built this tiny house, I had to disconnect and blow all the water lines out of the cold water holding tank that was in the shed outside so that I didn't basically waste $600 of hard-earned money to buy that cold water holding tank. So I
Mhm.
could bring it inside where it was warm in here with my heaters. So even though I had a trench dug from where the well is, running around outside the back of my house, coming up underneath the underneath of my house, I still have yet to get it hooked up with the submergible pump because my electrical panel is still out in the shed.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
But the water line and the electrical is all inside the house here. So
Mm,
when
mhm.
I do laundry, I take my laundry to town once or twice a month. When I like, so all my water for washing, for drinking, for bathing, I go get that twice a month.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah, and then I catch, of course, I collect rainwater around the house, and then
Mhm.
probably about a 5 or 7 minute drive down the road, there's like a natural spring. I mean, a couple of my neighbors around here actually drink the water, but
Mhm.
I like if I wouldn't drink it, I don't think, because it's never been tested, right?
Mm.
So I prefer to just buy my own drinking water. But I don't have a problem feeding it to my garden, right? If my garden,
Absolutely.
right.
Yeah.
But I mean, I don't really have a garden right now. I mean, all I have in the ground is all perennials, and the rainwater that I catch, I would think would be enough. But if it's not, I'll drive 5 minutes down the road, fill up some of my water jugs, and bring it back to because all I'm planting is peppers and tomatoes this year anyway, right?
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, and those like a deep watering every 3 days or so. So
Well, and that's why the tomatoes, you guys will see in my next video, I put it down in the little trench because
Yeah.
when all the water runs off of, you got to think that way, right?
Mhm.
When
Yes,
the
you
water,
do.
when the water runs off of the driveway, I don't know if you guys seen in the video. So here's my driveway right here, and then here's the garden bed down here. So this trench in between I filled in, well, that's where the tomatoes are going to go
yeah,
because
Right.
the tomatoes are heavy feeders, right?
Mhm.
And they'll run deep roots down so they can do their thing, and they're close enough to the house where it's not going to be too big of an issue for me
Right.
to go feed them.
Mhm.
Our issue is we do have a well, and we paid 26,000 for it, and now we have to come up with a water system that's going to be another 20.
Oh my goodness! Wow.
We're going to do rainwater catchment, and it's because we have animals and
Yeah.
a big garden.
Yeah.
And we want to do cattle and stuff like that, and so that's our next step. We actually made up a financial plan to make that happen
Mm-hmm.
tonight,
Good for you
and
guys.
so we're going to catch water off our shop.
Well, Laura, there's a bunch of channels that I follow that's in the Arizona desert. There's a bunch of gardening channels that I follow. And I watch their videos like clockwork every week or every 2 weeks when they put them out. And that's what they do. That's their entire setup is. And like, I can't look right now because I would have to multitask and get out of here and go get their names. And I probably would end up losing you guys. But yeah, just Google it. Type in, off-grid water.
Yeah, we've done a lot of research. We've been researching for a while.
They'll come up for you, and if they can do it in Arizona and capture their rainwater during monsoon season, surely to goodness, where are you located, Laura?
Tennessee.
Tennessee. I'm sure you can do it in Tennessee.
Oh yeah, they can. They just got hammered for a while.
And you know what? I could even do it here in New Brunswick, Canada, if I was set up with the water catchment basins and I had eaves, put around my house. I would be able to do it as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's just such a shame because they invested all that money and it seems like either
Already.
they didn't dig deep enough or it's just not there. Is that what they found
No,
out?
it's deep enough. It's just that's all that's there.
That's all the
we're looking
pressure
at
in
half
there.
a gallon a minute.
That's I'm so
Yeah,
sorry.
that's a shame.
Yeah.
That
And
is a
then it's hard water that's killing all our appliances.
Right.
Yes.
Right.
I had that at the last property that I owned, and it was the water was so hard, Laura, that when you wouldn't want to put a load of whites in there because they would come out brown and orange.
Yeah.
Wow.
Just a lot of iron.
Just
A lot of
disgusting.
iron.
So Krista, with your last property, was it a full size house?
Yeah, 2
Oh,
story.
it's right. So
Two-story
did
with the basement.
and nobody ever spoke to you about hiring woofers?
Hiring what?
Woofers.
I don't know what that is.
So a woofer is they're people that come from other countries, and basically you provide them lodging and food, and they come and they work on your property. So I used to perform at some wineries, and there would be kids from all over, like young 20s and 30s, from all over the world that would come to learn about working on this vineyard. And so they get the experience of living in Canada, working on this farm. It's Monday to Friday, and then the weekends they could have off.
Right.
But they are part of even prepping food and things like that. And it's like having those kinds of things. It's a real popular thing where you can, and it's short term. 3-month woofer comes and works on your property, learning. And so, for what you would be doing is, learning agriculture, learning permaculture type of gardening, learning, how to care for well, in Canada, in a grow zone of 4
Mm-hmm.
or 6. You're 6. It's these other guys that are 4.
Mhm.
Interesting. No, I
Yeah.
didn't know about it, but that's okay. I mean,
Mhm.
I
We
couldn't.
all learn.
Yeah, we all learn, and I wasn't able to maintain that property, so
Yeah.
um,
And that's because myself, when I think of my age and thinking about moving into purchasing, a small parcel of land, that's where I go, okay, I will
Yeah.
not be able to necessarily go and do it all in that way. And so that's where having,
Mhm.
woofers come in.
okay.
Um, yeah. And also with your power, I'm wondering if
Hey, Andrew, I just want to say hi to Andrew because I noticed
Yeah.
about 5 minutes or so ago he said hello to me, and then I went and looked in your chat to say hi, but he's not in your chat; he's in Carol's
He's
chat.
in mine, yeah.
right, I know. Yeah. It's like you just don't know where anybody
Oh,
is.
Yeah,
We're
that's
all
okay.
over the place.
But I'm
both
really
came
glad.
in.
I'm glad you guys bring those messages up on the screen so I can actually see them. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. I try to keep up with it, but once, the talking is, if it's something that
It's
we want to talk
hard.
about.
Yeah.
So,
It's
hello, baby bull.
it's funny he's in
Yeah.
mine. I just saw that it's got the paper clip. It's so crazy. Hey, Bo. Good to see
But
you.
Rude.
those are things that we're actually going to have to learn about, this rain harvesting and
Oh, yeah.
water catchment and things like that, because you know what? I mean, you guys have been around the block enough to know that there's all kinds of prepper YouTube channels
Yeah.
out there. And you know what? I mean, who's to say they're not wrong, right?
No, I
I
hang out
mean,
with some of them.
who's
They
who's
crisscross. We crisscross
yeah, and
over one another
who's
for
to
prepping.
say that you know whenever it might happen, whether it be in 6 months or a year down the road or whatever, that
Okay.
we're not even going to have power to be able
Thanks,
to
Mike.
power that submergible pump that's down in our well anyway.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
That's
Right.
what actually Mike and I are having a little bit of a conversation about the spiralizer because I had the
Yeah.
old one and it was plastic. The first one was called like the Vegetti, and that's what I was. And thanks to growing out of the box, I forgot the real term, which is
Spiralizer.
spiralizer.
Mhm.
But I have what Mike is talking about, and I have them both are manual, and that's what I do is I try to get manual
Mhm.
things. So in case
Yes.
we do lose electricity, I
Right.
have a manual grinder for my wheat in case we don't have electricity, so I can make bread from the hard wheat. But yes, the prepping, I don't like. It's like
Yeah, and so that's
survivalist
where I
community.
would, even though I live in a city, it was
I was
like I
thinking
was
that,
seeing
yeah.
solar panels on sale at Costco for pretty cheap a couple years ago, and my brother-in-law electrician was, and I was like, I think I should get them, and he's like, well, you'll need to have this and this and this and this, and then it just turned into what,
Yeah.
and it
It
was
gets
like,
Yeah.
overwhelming.
it gets
It does.
overwhelming, and it's like, and he doesn't live here, and it's like, if you lived here, I
Yeah.
would just go, here, you go and set it up. But people are using solar arrays, like Seven Can Homestead. They do not have running water. They do not have power.
Mhm.
They live in the Pacific
Right.
Northwest as well. And so they do have the water catchment, but he has a massive solar array and they run lives. They do have some glitches once in a while, but it's like they do have that ability.
Mhm.
Yeah, so there you go. Hey, Brutal Bob,
Hey, Bruce Bob.
welcome.
And that's the other thing too. Like, I mean, ever since the whatever word it is that we can't name.
The year we will not talk
Okay.
about.
Thank you. How stupid is that we can't even talk about what we want to talk about, really?
Mhm,
Anyway, ever since then, I mean, prices have been getting ridiculously high. Just this year alone in 2024, my hydro company has basically increased our prices here 3 times. So
whoa.
when I first started paying for hydro in 2022 at this very exact property that I'm at, and I was running all the same crap that I'm running right now out in the shack out beside me, right? I had a fridge, I had a microwave, I have a toaster oven, convection oven, all the whatever it was I was running, heaters and all this stuff. In 2022, it cost me top month $60 to run everything that I was running. Well, 2024, it's now costing me 100.
Wow.
Now, if
And
that
it,
is
and it's
right, and
it's
in the
just going to
winter,
go up.
so in the winter time with the heaters, and I mean, it doesn't cost a lot, to heat a 570, 576 square foot house, except for the fact, okay, now everybody says that I was crazy for doing this, but I don't personally think. I decided instead of going 8 feet high, I decided to go 10 feet high. So I haven't really done a tour of the inside of my house, but my ceilings are actually 10 feet high. So when I went to build my walls and put up my studs and all that sort of thing, I actually had to crawl up a scaffolding.
Oh dear.
Wow.
Each
Oh,
Pinched
dear.
nerves, sciatic issues.
Yep.
Can only lift my arm up this high now. Before it
Need-
was this, but I'm at least up here. I'm
need
going to climb up that.
need ankle replacements. Yep.
Yeah. Oh my. Oh my.
My issue would be, and my question would be, when you're climbing up or down, did you pee your pants? Because that would be my problem. No way. It would be like, it doesn't matter. Okay, Maureen, go pee first. Now climb. And you're like,
I ever peed my pants going up and down the scaffolding or a ladder, but
Thank goodness.
I do have kind of a weak bladder, and I mean, as you age and you have children,
yes.
And it's sometimes,
had children.
yeah,
especially when you're a coffee drinker like I am,
yes.
you
And
gotta,
fibro too, because it can
so
attack your bladder.
when.
Mhm.
What a stupid question, Maureen.
It's a rude question.
No, it's
It's a
not. Not at
rude
our
question.
age. Not at our age.
When you do have to pee, you really have to go like now. And
Exactly.
so,
That's for sure.
you got to get down off that ladder,
Yes.
that scaffolding really
Yep.
quick, or you will pee your pants.
Yeah, that's right.
But
The warning window is shorter as you get
So
older.
all the people in the chat here from Alaska and Andrew from Northwest Coins, they're talking about solar arrays and stuff like that. I mean, yes, I absolutely should probably be investing in that, considering that they've increased my hydro that much in a 2-year period.
Yeah.
$60 to $100, and that's without the heating months. So during the heating months, when I did have, I think the highest my heating bill ever went the first year was like maybe $120. So between 80 and 120, that's with having 2 heaters plugged in, right? Well, in the end of 2023 and the beginning of 2024, that very same heating bill jumped from 80 to 120 to 120 to 150, 60 something.
Yeah.
Wow.
To me, that's a drastic change.
It
Yeah.
is. It
That
is.
is.
Drastic change. And the difference between the first heating season and the second heating season was I went down a heater. Because you guys know those coiled heaters that are filled with oil in them. Well, the first season I had 2 of those plugged in, and I didn't really like them very much. And then my brother-in-law, him and my sister came to visit. I was dog sitting that particular weekend or something when they were taking a snowmobile trip. And he said, next time I come out, he said, I'm going to bring it's called a dish heater. So he brought out a dish heater.
Yeah.
And after he brought out that dish heater and I plugged it in, I actually ended up unplugging both of the coiled heaters and only using the one heater for the second season.
Wonderful.
So so in other words, I went down to 1 heater the second season versus 2 the first, and I still had almost double the bill.
That's
Right.
ridiculous. Yeah. That's
Right?
ridiculous.
Wow.
It is ridiculous. So, what I'm thinking about doing is, I mean, it is very costly to get set up with solar and everything, and it's really complicated. I don't know much about it. That's one of those mechanical things. Ask me something I know something about. But when it comes to electrical stuff and mechanics, no.
They are making it easier and easier.
Exactly. Just give me a tool, give me a circular saw that works, a skill saw that works, a sawzall that works, as long as I can throw a battery in it or plug it in. and it
Mm.
works, then great.
Wow.
But
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, Andrew, that is the kids' internet plus carving electric is $250 to $300 monthly.
oh my god,
That's combined. So his internet and his electricity combined is that.
Mhm.
Yeah. That's about right for here too.
wow.
Mhm.
Yeah. Well,
Except
not
for
right for here.
that's just my electric right there. And then we have
Yeah.
the internet, but our internet is included in our HOA now, but our HOA fee is like 180 on top of that.
What's
right.
an
Monthly.
HOA fee? What's an HOA fee?
HOA fee is basically they use their
Condo
buying
fee?
power. They use their buying power in here, all the houses combined, and we get a lower rate for our
Oh.
Wi-Fi and our cable. But
Mhm.
an HOA is also they maintain the common property in
Oh,
the
it's like a condo.
community. It's
Yeah.
like a homeowners association. Yeah. I
Okay.
don't care for it too much, but I do like it in a way too, because it does have some rules that they keep our property values up. We'll just say
Mm.
because I'm in Florida, and Florida man and Florida woman live in Florida. Yeah.
Yeah, but they take care of your snow. Oh, you don't have
We don't have
snow. Right. Okay.
No, what it includes is we have a community pool that you can use, so you don't have to have your own pool in the backyard and be dealing with all that, which is
Right.
kind of nice because I don't.
I
use
have a
the pool.
question for you, Carol. I have a question for you. I was watching your video. You did a little walkabout there, and you were doing a garden tour. I guess.
Oh dear, must have been an older one. Yeah.
No, it was yesterday.
Oh,
Yesterday, 2
the
days
one
ago.
that I'm not really in, the one with the
Yes.
sayings.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
So
Yeah, yeah.
you were out back, I guess, in your property, and
Yeah.
there's this little canal that
Yes.
it looks like a ditch filled with water.
Yes.
Do you get alligators and
No,
whatnot in
not
there?
in that, thank God. It's low enough so far and not full enough because what it is everything around us kind of feeds into our canal, and then there's another one, I think, not too far, and they just drain out. So they just open the gates when it rains.
I
I've
was
seen it
thinking,
get kind of high though during hurricane
yeah, I
season,
was
and I'm
thinking,
worried
boy,
about that.
I was thinking, boy, that's pretty close to my house. I don't know if
Yeah, I've seen otters. I have not seen gators. I'd be more concerned about the lake across the street. The lake they would come out of. Yeah. Hey,
Hey.
come in. But only near the home, I've only seen one gator, not near my house. It was in an HOA a little bit further down. But mostly they lake out west or stay out west and in the ponds. You have to be careful. Like any water, you're not safe. They could be in there here. And now we have the crocodiles that are making a big comeback. They've always been here, but we have saltwater crocs, which people don't realize.
Oh, I knew that.
Yeah. Some people don't know. Some people don't know about the American crocodile.
Yeah.
Yeah. They
Most
just think
Americans don't know too much about Canadians, though. I mean, it
no.
was only like about 15 years ago. They all thought we lived in igloos up here.
Yes, that's what I used to tell Maureen.
Yeah, it's pretty
Yeah.
funny, isn't it?
I was chatting with
Yeah.
someone about 15
Yeah.
or 20 years ago, and they were going on about
Yeah.
an igloo, and I said, "Oh yeah, I built a second floor."
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
they're like, "Oh, really? Great, good for you."
That was the joke. Oh my gosh, I'm gonna
It
take a
was
coughing break.
Yeah. Well, the other funny one is that when, if you're down in the States and you go, oh, you're from Canada, right? And now I live as far over on the West Coast as you possibly can. And they go, I have this friend, his name is Lorne Smith, and he lives in Ontario. Do you know him? You're like, of course I know Lorne Smith from Ontario.
Ontario is only 4 provinces away from you. 3.
Exactly. It's like,
Yeah.
So here is,
And there are huge provinces in Canada.
that's right. Here's this is all of Canada. I live right here over here, and Ontario is way over here. Like, and you go, that's a long way to get there. And they would go, oh, do you know? And you go, you're not serious. It would be the same thing as if you're down in the States and you're in Michigan, and oh, hey, I have this friend in Alabama. Do you know him?
It says he gets the same thing about England, basically, when he
Yes.
Yeah, I'm originally from Canada too. So
Are you?
yeah.
Yeah.
What
She's
province?
born Canadian.
Oh, Ontario.
Okay.
Yeah, I just tell Maureen it was igloos, snow, moose. This is what I knew about Canada. And that one city that was probably Quebec that they used to show us at night, all lit up very pretty. That was Canada. That was it.
It's either that or Toronto. Yeah.
Yeah, or
Yeah.
Toronto. But it was one of the cities, and they'd be
Mhm.
like, "This is Canada." And it'd be like a little montage of pictures.
Yeah.
And I'm sure we had more, but that's what stuck. And I have no idea where the igloos came from for us. I have no idea. But it's common.
Well, you
weird.
just think you guys all think that north is like that it's really, really cold. And it's
Yeah.
like
Well, and then Hollywood
think you're
portrays
like
it as really cold too.
true.
You know.
mind you, yeah. Well, that's how I feel like when I think about Russia. I go, why would anybody go to Russia for a holiday? Like it's just like because growing up all as a kid, all I would see was the war movies
Night, Sean.
in class. And they're always at war and they're always dressed super warm, and same with Germany. I'd feel the same. It's like those two places, and they're you go Russia here, Germany here, but I'm thinking it's all one, and it's always freezing cold all year
Yeah.
round. Like, there's no people, they get in their cars and they go for picnics and they go and have lunch and they wear, they go swimming and they do things just like you go, no, it's always cold there. It's always cold. All the World War II movies showed it was cold.
Mhm.
So,
Yeah.
all right. Good night, Sean. Have a blessed day
night.
tomorrow.
Good night, Sean.
Oh, the grind in Ontario.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Is creative.
Yeah, no, I said that. You don't go near water in Florida
Ontario?
because that's why I said it could, but usually I've never seen one in the back. Thank God. Plus, I used to, when we were kids, it was so stupid. We used to be right on this big lake. It was called Lake Ida, and we would do all our, water skiing and kneeboarding. And
Mhm.
below us were gators, I'm sure.
I see that
Mhm.
you have a Young Living diffuser behind you there, Carol.
Yeah.
I've got about 3 of those in my house.
Yeah,
In my tiny house.
I have the area too, but it's right now it needs another little piece. That one tends to go out more than this one.
I
This
don't know.
one's
I
pretty
haven't been
solid.
able to run mine for a while.
It's the glass one. You can sometimes buy parts if you look online. Just say this one, the one that you have
Mhm.
and part, and it's the disc that vibrates usually that's gone bad.
I credit the
Fishy chicken.
the
I'm telling
Young
him.
Living essential oils actually was part of my recovery after my car accident.
Mhm. Maureen
But
uses them too.
interestingly enough, the car accident actually triggered. I have a huge scent sensitivity, so like you wouldn't be able to use dryer sheets or
Yeah.
can't be around
hard.
a man that smells like anything to do with Axe. No,
No,
thank you.
So that's the ones that were in it. It was
Who
the
can be
lime.
around any?
Yeah, not many people can be around the axe.
Well, I know, but
The
you know what I'm
bergamot.
talking about, lady. Those
Oh, I do know.
yeah, like I mean, they love the smell of this stuff, but I mean, it just And
Yeah.
sometimes actually, when I go to church,
Good night. Growing out the box. Have a blessed day
Good
tomorrow.
night, going out of the
Good
box.
night, growing out of the
Happy
box.
Sunday. Happy Father's Day to the fathers too.
When I go to
Mhm. Happy Father's Day to the fathers.
yes, happy Father's Day.
Yes.
When I go to church, sometimes I actually have to get up and leave the sanctuary and go out
I've had
into the what they call it, the atrium, because the
Yeah.
people have too much perfume and cologne on,
Yeah.
and it instantly will give me it gives me a headache.
Mhm.
But for some reason, it triggers a pain in the back of my neck, and it triggers anxiety in me. So I don't know what it does back here in my neck, but
Mhm.
Right.
I know when it affects me because I can feel it, and it makes me feel sick.
Yeah.
Mhm.
It's just that
Mhm.
nervous system malfunction
Yeah.
that fibro brings, probably.
Miss Laura, how are your little piggies?
They are getting big.
They're getting big
We need to
piggies.
put them out on pasture, but we've been dealing with all this water stuff. But
Mm.
yeah, they're about to go out on pasture, and it's going to be fun.
Mhm.
Did
Yeah,
you
because-
say also, Laura, that you were getting solar to go along with your water? No.
Not solar, no. We've looked into solar. We were going to go off grid at first, and we were going to do the tiny house thing.
Yes.
But
Till
we bought a tiny house, and then my mother-in-law moved in with us, and so I'm taking.
and they had that one night where all their friends saw them spend the night, and it was so super windy up on their property. We were worried for them because we saw the roof
Yeah.
do this, and
Yeah.
it's not even like a major storm. And we're like, Laura, maybe we need something to.
Yeah, we have a lot of tornadoes here,
Mhm.
Yeah.
and so so we're linked to a good foundation, but we still have the tiny house, and it's becoming something else. We'll see what we do with it. But
Mhm.
So Storm says I can't go to the detergent aisle around anyone wearing perfumes or colognes. Otherwise, it feels like my throat is closing up and dries my sinuses crazy.
Oh wow.
yeah,
All right.
me too.
Do you ever
I'm
try to go down the cleaning aisle where they have all the? Oh, I just totally avoid it. I don't like it at all.
Yeah,
I
that's
find
basically
the
what he's saying.
detergent and the detergent aisle is worse in my Publix than the cleaning for me.
Mm.
I guess because they could put the stuff in cardboard boxes and the smells leach out of the powdered
what
stuff.
are you doing, Carol?
I had to reset it up. She reminded me. I'm like, oh yeah, that hasn't gone off in a while. It was empty.
It's just like you're over there, and you're like,
Sorry.
we can't see your head. She's still talking.
The headless host.
Yeah, she
Oh.
had her back to us, and we could all still hear her talking.
Mhm.
Well, look at that, ladies. It's 1 a.m. here, and I'm still sitting here. That's because I had a 3.5-hour nap and 2 cups of coffee.
That'll do it.
Yeah.
That'll
Well, I
do
took a nap too, and then I woke up, and I left my phone out in the living room, and I had put it on notification, and so there you guys are playing in the living room, and I'm like, what is that noise?
Right.
Oh, my friends! I was gonna go see them.
That's
Yeah,
right.
that's
I
good
remember
too.
I was going to do that. All right.
That's-
So I'm going to just step away, as I
Okay.
said. But thank you, Krista, for coming up. We really do appreciate it and getting to know you more.
Yeah,
And I know there's a few people that have come over to your little tiny house and have sat on your stoop and
Yeah.
have looked around. And so, welcome to, some of this big community.
Yay.
And I'm super impressed that it just makes me go, okay, Maureen, if Krista can do that with all of the things that she's going on, there's no
Yeah.
reason why you can't do it too.
Mm.
Everybody can.
And you can do it with a cheerleading system, right? Because when you're
Yes.
doing it with friends, even though they're far away, it really encourages me to do my best and really,
Absolutely.
show up. So
Mhm.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So anyway, because you're going to step down, so I'm going to be stepping down to go and put the ladies to bed. I'll be back shortly. Thank
Okay.
you again, Krista, for coming in.
Okay, Maureen. Talk to you later.
Bye-bye.
I forgot that the girls had to be put away. She's still doing that, eh?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep. She doesn't have
Yeah,
that.
it is, Laura, an interesting community. I'm learning. And just, to me, it warms my heart to just be able to leave an encouraging comment to somebody because, I kind of know what they're going through with different struggles and things like that. And with the homestead and there's I do actually watch a lot of the videos and stuff like that. And so I know some of their heartaches and struggles and just to offer an inspirational word to them. I mean, how much effort does that take on our part? Not much.
Right.
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 Exactly. I'm sorry.
And
I'm just picking something up. Go ahead. I'm looking.
Yeah, you just you watch their video and you just see all their effort and hard work, and it only takes literally 10 seconds to leave a comment and say, wow, you've put in so much work since the last time you posted a video. Wow, it looks amazing. 10 seconds to leave a comment like that, right? And encourage someone to continue on.
Yeah. They say that, Brutal Bob, they say they're shy. I hope to God they're shy. I never want to meet up with a crocodile or a gator. They're just having our side chat about the freshwater, but they're the American crocodile is what we have.
Speaking of, so you get a lot of tornadoes then in Tennessee, did you say, Laura, you're in?
Yeah.
Yeah. So we get all of the hurricanes that come right up the eastern seaboard. They land right here in New Brunswick, right beside Maine, right?
Yeah.
And the hurricane season, I mean, they're anticipating it to be like 50 times worse than it's been in, I don't know, decades, supposedly, Carol.
Yeah.
So, you know, whatever you're getting there in Florida, are you on the south, the east, the north, west?
I'm on the southeast. I am above Miami though, so I'm not that far down. I'm in Palm Beach County.
Yeah, so you're right on the coast then. So
Pretty
pretty
much.
much whatever you're going to get, anything that's going to follow, you know, the
Mhm.
eastern seaboard, basically
Yep.
New Brunswick is smack dab right there. It catches it. It's like a
You-
lip
As it goes up, yeah.
as it goes up, right?
Exactly.
Now, by the
Exactly.
time it does come up, because the waters tend to be a little bit cooler as it comes up, the intensity of the storm somewhat dissipates a little
Yep.
bit.
Mhm.
But last year, the temperatures of our Canadian waters, our waters around here are getting so warm that more and more and more sightings of great white sharks are being
Yeah.
spotted all the
Oh,
time.
wow.
It's breeding season. We're having attacks
And
going on
they're
down here.
totally coming up here and they're following the food and our
Yeah.
waters are getting warmer.
They're coming down
So,
here. It's part of their range already was down here. They would come. It was
yeah,
like, but they wouldn't stay that long. And now we're having them more. And we have a lot of different species in our water. But right now is breeding time and
yeah,
we've had quite a few attacks. Panhandle has had some pretty bad ones
yeah.
this year.
Wow.
This year more than, other years.
I
So
think I've seen a report about that actually.
yeah.
Something
Yeah.
on the news recently
Yeah,
about
because
that.
there was quite a few people and we've never had that where,
There
you
was
know.
that many attacks, right?
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, I know what you mean about the great whites because I don't like to go in the ocean anymore. I don't go in water.
I used to, but I'm not going
Me
now.
too.
I mean, those things are just too big
Yeah.
and ugly for my liking.
Yeah,
Thank
when I went in, actually, there's one that they were tracking named Catherine. And I had finally gone in the water because it felt so nice. I went in the water. We were there with a big group of kids. So I wasn't even prepared to go in the water. I had my shorts on, a t-shirt. And I just sat in the water with the other kids. Kids, I'm saying they're teens. Like, I get out of the water. We're on our way home. And all of a sudden on the radio it talks about Catherine. Oh, Catherine is, her little tracker has binged. It's been down. She's been off our coast. I'm like, really?
Lovely.
I had to hear that right after I got out of the water. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm done.
Yeah.
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 Oh, the Storms is saying, well, studies are claiming the Earth is tilting so much that the equator would be over Kentucky. So if they are correct, it's going to get hot, hot, hot here in the bluegrass state. Who knows?
Yeah.
Interesting. It's definitely
I don't
our
know.
waters.
I don't know
warmer.
I don't know what's happening. I don't know if are you guys biblical? Do you like have a biblical worldview? Okay.
We're
Yeah.
all Christians
So
up here.
okay, so we're all on
panel.
the same page then. So am I. And
Yeah.
if you have a biblical worldview, then what we're going through, I mean, obviously is
Yeah.
written about, right? It's
Right.
been prophesized about. And
Yeah.
I'm not one of those people that freak out, oh my gosh, look what's
Mhm.
happening. And because it's written right there
Yeah.
for us to
Yeah.
see, right?
Yeah.
It's been promised. It's been prophesied.
It's been
Yeah.
prophesized. It's written in black and white.
Yeah.
It's been handed down. All the signs we're actually asked or told in the
Mhm.
Bible that we should be observant of all these signs and all these
Mhm.
things that are happening around us. And yeah, so I mean, I know that it's not something that we're used to, and we're not used to. I'm especially not used to, all this stuff that's happening and I'm not even sure all the right words to use.
Yeah.
Trigger words here, but I'm
Yeah,
not,
you have to be so careful. I
yeah,
know
I
it's
don't
hard to
want
know, but yeah, Scripture states in the end times we would not be able to tell one season from another.
mhm.
That's
And
interesting. I don't remember that one.
and nowadays people, if something's up, they're saying it's down.
Yes,
If it's right, they're saying it's wrong, and
that was
it's
foretold. Yeah,
that's
that
all
we.
been foretold. Yeah.
Yeah, I had never heard that one though. I got to look up the verse that Barry's. I'm not saying Barry's wrong at all. I'm just saying, oh, didn't heard that prophecy.
Oh, I can't see what he's saying. I have to.
Seasons will be. Do you have the StreamYard open? It should open up on If you click over on comments, there's things on the side of your StreamYard. If you have the duck, if you have
oh,
the duck in one corner, you have
where it
comments.
says private chats? No,
Okay.
that's us.
That's us, but then click over on the top. It should say comments in that same
Oh,
section.
it does. Okay, look at that.
There's your comments.
Okay, hi everybody. I've kind of felt like I was in the dark there for a while.
No, it was 93 here today, so it was like we're having some heat, but you're always hot, Carol, right?
Yeah, pretty much. Actually, it wasn't too bad because I got out after 4 o'clock, but I mean, not too bad for Florida. Might be different for somebody else. I didn't
Today
even
was
check the
cold
temperature.
here. It was freezing. The weather has just been scary. You know, like I don't know what the conversion is from Celsius to Fahrenheit. We're Celsius here, and right now it's down to it says that it's like 14 degrees Celsius. But during the day, so in the evening, it's going down super cold like that, like so cold that you can't plant out peppers and tomatoes yet, right?
Yeah.
And because you need to have what nighttime temperatures of like 50, 55. Is that what you guys say?
Yeah.
So
Well,
I'm
60 is
still
better, but for
yeah, I'm still under that. Like we haven't
Mm-hmm.
had that, and it's already what, June 16th today.
Mm-hmm.
So it's getting pretty late in the year, and they changed our zone. I used to be a 5A. They changed me to a 5B. Our last frost date last year was the second week in June, but they changed us to the end of May this year. So obviously it hasn't changed for me. It's still the second week in June, the end of the second week in June, right?
Yeah.
So
yeah.
I plan on probably planting on Monday or Tuesday. I'm putting my peppers and tomatoes out, and whatever's going to be is going to be, if it's going to work out.
Yeah.
Between the weather and the slugs, I'm not even sure if I'm going to end up getting anything. I mean, the slugs really just are nuts. I don't think, Laura, you heard me earlier. They're even eating my hostas.
Yeah, yeah, they like hostas a lot.
They sure do.
Yeah, they're bad this year. A good beer bath will be good for them. You put out a little beer in a thing, and they'll swim in it and drown.
Yeah. So
yeah, slugs have been bad this year.
Yeah, everybody seems to be talking about that. So we'll
Yeah,
see.
the insects didn't have a harsh winter, so they're worse this year, is what everybody's saying. And we don't have a winter, but even our winter, we didn't have anything this year. Like,
well, I think for us, it's been all the rain, and so the slugs have just come out of the woodworks.
Oh yeah, for the slugs, but they're saying all of the bugs are just.
Yeah, I know. I'm spraying this year, and I have
Brutal Bob. And I'll have to check out what you said about that one place where the crocodile goes. I don't know where that is.
Night, Brutal Bob.
Just ask your kids what's new in the
Hope
world.
your better half is doing well.
There's also a button here.
That's true, Andrew.
Join the chat, Carol. Is that something that we're able to do on this?
Yes, you can join it, and then it'll open up a box down below the chat, so you can talk in Maureen's chat.
So with this link then that Maureen sent me, I don't even actually have to be on YouTube then.
Right? No, it'll feed right into hers. But,
I personally don't have to be signed into YouTube to join this.
No, you don't.
Okay. See, I thought
you don't have to be. You might have to. It might give you that, but I mean, you don't have to previously be on her page.
Okay.
That's what's scary though too when you are running one, is people will use the link that's in the chat, not show up in your side chat and say anything.
Oh,
and we have trolls show up that way, so you have to be.
Yeah, you have to be very careful.
You have to be very careful.
Now I
with
understand.
that.
And actually, it's better for your channel for me to actually show up on your channel page anyway and enter through that. Otherwise, you don't get.
Well, for Diva too, yes, you don't get the hours. Yes,
you don't get
time.
Right.
True. Yeah. And also with Diva, she has Nightbot, which I hope I'll have set up eventually. And you can drop your link like before you came up, or even now you can put hashtag Diva in that little box where it says post a comment. If that opened up, the post a comment box, did it open? I'm sorry, my Wi-Fi is so glitch.
Post a comment. It just says join the chat. Is that
So you have to click on join the chat, and
Join
it should
the chat.
open the box.
And then it says connect your YouTube account to join this live chat.
Oh, yeah. So you're not
Okay.
signed into something,
Uh-oh.
maybe.
Geez,
Or
another box popped up. Oh, here we go. Oh, isn't this interesting?
What's it make you do now? It's because you have 3 accounts on.
Yeah,
Just
so
one
they're all coming
email?
up. I'm just
Maybe
gonna
is it
close
letting you choose though? Sometimes it lets you choose which email that's connected to the account that you want to be on.
Yeah. I'm just not even going to go there because.
Okay.
Yeah.
But anyway, yes, to go into Diva's chat before you come on a panel is good because you can do your link.
I
Even
can see her chat because I actually have.
Ooh, wait just a moment, ladies and gentlemen, out into the stage.
Oh.
GT Junior grows in Alaska.
Hey there, how y'all doing? Hello, hello, hello.
Hello. My
Good to see you,
internet cousin, GT. GT, you're looking darker than usual. What's going on?
The sun.
There it
There
is.
you
There
go.
it is. There's the
That's
light.
right. It's because it's flipping daylight where he is.
That's so crazy.
Yes, it is.
That's so crazy. It's
Oh, look at that.
beautiful
Wow.
though.
Yes.
So beautiful.
So he's in Alaska, as is Andrew's Northwest Coins. He's
Okay.
also, but he's in his
He's in the
he's
Arctic
in the
Circle, Andrew.
circle.
Mhm.
he can just reach his finger and touch it.
Yes, he's in the ice cube circle.
What
Mhm.
time is it in Alaska right now?
8:20 p.m.
Oh my.
Okay.
We still have so many hours. I want those
Mhm.
back.
I would live my life different if I could.
I know
this
if I could
evening.
have those 4 hours.
No, you'd still
back.
be on my flipping live, Carol, is what you'd be doing. It'd be
That's
so
true.
different.
Right?
I could
That's
have
true.
no, I
Nope.
would be on Marines Live.
That's true.
So I got a question for you. Almost Green Acre.
Krista.
Almost a Green Acre, Miss Krista. You said that your last frost date is June, the second week in June. So how far does that go? How
That was last year. They changed it to the end of May for this year, but because our temperatures are still, actually, I don't even think it's going to be today. Well, it's 1 a.m. my time right now, or 1:20. So Sunday night is my temperatures are actually going to be above, supposedly, I think Maureen 17 or 18. Yeah, I don't know what that is in Fahrenheit. So it's going to be, it's finally starting to warm up enough where I'll be able to plant out my tomatoes and my peppers.
Yeah, so 15 degrees is 59 Fahrenheit. 15 Celsius is 59 here.
So
Fahrenheit.
tonight is the first, well, but I'm not putting the garden in on a Sunday. Plus my boxes still aren't ready yet. I've been busy this week. Oh my gosh, you guys should see me lugging wood and building raised garden beds and having to.
I love your raised garden beds.
Yeah,
I think
well,
they're beautiful, and I love how you surround it with another bed on the ground. It
Yeah.
looks so beautiful,
Well,
like you're a
you wait until
landscaper.
you see the next video, and you'll see just how busy. But I've been running out of supplies. I've been running out of screws. I've ran out of compost. I've had and to go to town is like a 45-minute trip for me, right? So 45 minutes in town, 45 minutes back, and
don't forget your bank card when you leave home.
Right. And remember your list.
We're an hour out of town.
Question about my growing zone. I don't think you
just how deep into the summer before you can plant, probably.
Oh well, yeah, I should be able to plant this coming week. Junior,
GT
Junior.
Yeah. So,
but how long does it last? How long is your season, your growing season?
Well, I mean, until frost comes, and we never know when that's going to be. I mean, I've seen probably October, late September, maybe the middle of September.
Okay.
Yeah.
And
so my goal, GT, this year, and I was telling the ladies this earlier, is this is like pretty much virgin land that's never had anything done to it, right?
Yeah.
And So everything I'm doing around here, I'm doing it right from scratch. And the ground is really, really compacted. And I'm not the type of gardener that wants to bring a tiller in here and mess up all the
And you shouldn't.
biodiversity. No, the
Mhm.
biodiversity that's going on in the ground. I do know that I have very even though it's compacted soil, it's well drained soil. So water does not sit on the surface for very long around here, unless you're on the north side of my property, so I've been really observant of what's been going on with this land for 2 years now. And that's important, like the biodiversity that comes around here.
Mhm.
Around the property, I also have a lot of wild goldenrod and things like that, which brings in a lot of the mason bees. And those are really good pollinators. So I was really careful not to disturb too much of where I remembered that the goldenrod was. Plus, I want to be able to harvest that a little bit. But if you do add my channel, GT, you'll see where I'm building from scratch raised garden beds that are raised 26 inches off of the ground. And they're 8 by approximately 2 feet by 26 feet high. And what I'm doing is I'm layering it like lasagna. So I'm not filling that whole box up with soil, obviously. In
So
the back,
hugelkultur is what you're
yeah.
doing.
So in the back of my
do that.
property on this land when I bought it was a whole bunch of wood, and the wood is really no good for burning, wouldn't even throw a heat. I mean, it would light a fire, but it's not going to throw any heat. So, but it's super porous. So what I'm doing is I'm layering, first of all, the bottom of the box, and then I'm putting scraps of twigs and brush and that on top of it, and leaf mold and all that sort of thing on top of it. Then I'm throwing a thin little layer of compost to fill in all the gaps and things like that. And then I'm putting another layer of wood until I reach where I want it. And then the last, 15 inches basically is going to have topsoil or compost on top of it.
Mhm. It's
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
I can dig
hugelkultur.
it.
Yeah, that's what I do with I do that with my raised bed, but I put in moringa one year and did not realize that if you do that with moringa and there's any green in it, it comes back to life. So it start resurrecting itself through my bed.
Yeah. Wow.
And I was like, I didn't plant celery. That kind of looks like celery. What is that? What's coming up in this bed? I don't. And then I realized, like, wait a minute, that leaf looks like my moringa tree. Oh, it's alive.
Wow.
Mhm.
The
They
other
just come
thing,
back.
the other thing too, JT, is that I live on a pretty fixed income, and so I don't have the resources to be able to go out and buy pressure treated wood, and even, I don't know if you guys have noticed or not, but even the mills where you can get rough cut lumber around here anyway has practically matched the box store prices anyway, right? Whatever you're paying in the hardware stores, you're paying the
That's
practically the
crazy.
same. It's crazy. It's
We
not.
we just got a huge bundle of rough cut lumber that's all, it's not the same diameters, but
Right.
for $50, like
Yeah.
a huge pile of it.
Yeah,
you know.
well, those prices, those deals are getting fewer and further between. And anybody that can actually get, hey, Ann, anybody that can actually get a deal like that, you should scoop up all the deals like that you can find, because they're not going to be around very long. I know around here that if you're paying if you're paying $2 a foot in the hardware store, chances are it's $1.75 here at the mill, or if not $2. And
Wow.
some people that I talked to were saying that the mills, some of them are actually even wanting more money than the actual hardware stores. So what I ended up doing, GT, is last year I had made probably, we have some hardware stores around here that allow you to go in and pick up free pallets. So I probably made about 3 or 4 trips last year, and I had about 40 pallets here. So late last fall, I started cutting those pallets just with my circular saw and getting the boards off of it. And I started putting together garden beds, right? And then it got really cold quickly, and I ended up just using it for temporary skirting around the house. So this spring I took that skirting down, and now I'm putting them together, and that's what I'm making my garden beds out of. But I turned it into a bit more of a job than it probably needed to be. You know, I've lined the inside of them with vapor barrier to basically, you know, keep the wood a little bit. But I've been going on and on here. Maureen's got other guests that want
It'll keep your soil warm too. I thought that was kind of an interesting idea.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's been time consuming, right? And
right.
getting all that done.
All good things are time consuming.
When you're working with injuries and stuff like that, you have to take care of your body. And,
yes, you have to take breaks.
You know, like yesterday I was saying, I think Maureen, I ended up last night, I was so tired after working all week that I ended up going to bed. I think it was like 8 p.m. Last night I was in bed, and I think I woke up once and get up and went to the bathroom, got a drink of water, something at about 2 a.m. And then I went back to sleep again, didn't wake up until 6:30. And for some reason this afternoon, I felt absolutely exhausted, laid down for a nap at 3 o'clock and didn't open my eyes till 6:30. Wow. So that's a lot of sleep.
Yes, your body needed it.
My body needed it, right?
Right. Yeah.
Anyway.
No, that's.
And then there's other days, Carol, where I can't catch a wink.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, that's Maureen. She's my friend, the aggressive napper. Yeah.
Maureen is the aggressive napper?
Yes.
Yeah. When I nap, because you're just like, okay, I'm gonna have a nap. But I don't know if it's what happens, because it's not when I sleep, but it's like for some reason it's like, oh, I'm clenched. And then when it's time to wake up, it's like, oh, I'm actually, I got to get away from this nap. It's awful because I'm tensing my head, tensing my sleep. Yeah. I go, I must be an aggressive napper.
Yep.
So I just want to go back because I wanted to look at this. Perfection Baking said, I like the way you ladies think. I published a post on my channel and want to know what you all think of those ideas. So I just kind of popped over, and I do want to just grab the link because I thought, I'll just paste it. But it's a lengthy thing. So I think it would be, it's like I want to start a conversation about what the average person can do to restore our environment, stop climate change, and make the world a safer, more beautiful place. I start with gardening because we can design our lives in urban areas to facilitate gardening and lives. And so I do want to just post it in this link in the chat so that you guys can actually go and have a peruse of it. And if you press send, then it posts it.
Isn't that amazing?
Wow.
I should have put Perfection Baking.
Yeah, I just popped over and was starting to read, and great ideas in there. Perfection, great. And it just mind blowing, some of it. And I want to check out the Taiwan building that she mentions in it.
Yeah. So
but I'll read. I commented, but I'll read the rest. I couldn't read the whole thing.
Yeah,
while I'm up.
People are talking in your ear when you.
Yeah, I can't chew gum and walk at the same time. So.
I did press it again, and this time I put the title down there, and so this would be. I'm gonna do.
And then you have conversation in the back, like Maureen's telling us everything she's doing right now.
Definitely go read it. I just, if I click on that link, it'll just totally take me out of here. So I can't go do it right now.
No. But
when I leave, I'll go look up her channel and definitely take a look see.
Yep.
I wondered, Anne, what that was like. I've never had Turkish coffee. I've just always heard about it because I asked her.
I love Turkish.
Is it
It
That
going to
is
would-
be American or Turkish?
Yeah, I would love to have some Turkish coffee. Now that's my kind of
Mm.
coffee right there.
I
I'm a coffee drinker.
Uh-huh.
And I mean, Turkish coffee where it's so thick that your spoon would stand up, that speaks to me.
Mhm.
Is it so thick though? Do they put sugar in it like the Cuban coffee?
No,
Like
she means that it's strong.
no, I
Unlike
know it's strong, but I
Americans.
wondered if like Cuban coffee is very strong.
Oh, it would
They're
be. Yeah.
if they do it in shots, it's so strong, but they
Mhm.
put sugar in it first and then they whisk it so you get the foam.
Yeah.
And I was drinking those in my 20s. I finally had to stop because it ate my gut.
When I lived in South Dakota for like when we moved down
Me too.
from Winnipeg, Manitoba to South Dakota,
Yeah.
their coffee was so weak that you could actually see through it.
Oh, I can't. That's like dishwater.
It was
Just
like
ugh.
dishwater.
Yeah.
It was
Yeah, I don't like
awful.
that.
Every time.
Okay, it is small shots. Okay.
Mhm.
Okay, there you go.
Yeah, I could
Yeah,
do that.
they don't do the what they call milking the coffee. It's
No, no,
Yeah.
you know,
no.
the Italians. It's like yeah, you
Yeah.
just go and you have your
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Cuban coffee is very
But
similar
I
to
think that we
Italian
could
espresso.
probably speak into that, Maureen. Couldn't we? Like just quickly, what do we all do anyway to help? What was her question? Perfection baking to help the
Oh,
environment.
it's a big long
It's
like
it's an essay on
Oh,
what we
yeah,
can
no,
what
but I
we
mean-
can do, basically, that she wants to
Mhm.
talk about all
Well,
various
do
things.
you know that when it comes to garbage, so I have a garbage company that collects right at the end of my driveway. And
Mhm.
I built a garbage bin in order to hold my garbage bags or whatever. And one week or so this past week that went by, they collected the blue bag, which is the cardboard, the cans,
recycling one.
so they collected the recycling. And then the following week, they collect the regular garbage. So most people, would at least have one bag each week. They would put a bag out, right? I've reduced my garbage and my recycling so much that my garbage man only collects from me. Like he shrugs his shoulders. It's like, what are you doing with your garbage?
I have a thing for your channel. You could do that on your channel, actually. Have you done
Really?
that yet? A
Oh,
weight challenge, yeah, too.
There
Sure.
is nothing that I like. I mean, I use everything, and
Yeah.
that's the same with these pallets, for instance. When I made these raised garden beds 28 inches high, I decided that I wanted to put 2x4 cross braces in it, right?
Yeah.
On the lower section and then up further. I haven't decided yet if I want to go right at the top. So rather than cut my good 2x4s, I decided to go to the end pieces that I cut off of the pallets and reuse those. That's how bad I am, guys. My kids could tell you some stories when it comes to their mother and me recycling stuff. Let me tell
Yeah.
Mhm.
Oh, I saw those
Mhm.
beds. They were awesome, what you
you,
made off the
and I
pallets.
mean, my
Beautiful.
daughters are 30 and 31 now. So, they they know that mom's been recycling for a lot of years.
Right. Are you part of Generation X or are you a boomer? The boomer generation, like the real boomers, not the ones that Gen
just
Z.
tell us
No,
what year
I'm a year off from the boomers.
Just tell
Okay.
us the year you were born.
Yeah. You don't
66.
know. What was that?
I don't care. I'm going to be 58 this year.
Okay. Yeah.
I'll be
Well,
50
you're close to both, so you got both
Yeah,
of the
I'll be
influences.
58, and that's hard. I mean, not that I just find it strange.
Don't
you
you?
know?
Because you're not 58 on the inside.
Yeah,
It's the
no, but
body
I
that's
just find
doing.
it strange to say it because
Yeah.
That was old people, but back when we were in our 20s,
Right.
people who were 58, they were old.
To us.
Like if
Yeah.
we're in our 20s and our parents would be in their late 50s or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah.
20, 30, 40. Well, yeah. And you'd go, they're old. Like, look at how they act and they're just winding down in life. And you're like, you go, oh, at this age, I do
Complain
not
about all
feel
their
that.
aches and pains and
Yeah.
Well,
commiserate.
I do that.
I do that.
Mhm.
But
Yeah.
yes, it's
I
come
think
too
for me,
quickly.
I think for me, I look at it and I think to myself, where's the time gone? Like life is
Yeah.
so short, right?
Mm-hmm.
You know, and I think we start really realizing the time speeding by so fast, you know, when we're in our, like, sort of in our 40s,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yeah.
Maybe the beginning of our 40s. Yeah.
Right.
29 inside. Yeah. Oh, you're a
Yeah.
boomer, Anna. There you go.
Yeah. So I'm just a year. You said you were 66? Yeah,
Yeah.
you're 66.
So
I'm a,
she's 3 years older than I am.
and I'm a year younger than you.
Okay.
And I'm Gen
Yeah.
X. I'm
I'm
1970.
67.
Okay.
And I'm
Mhm.
70.
Yep, we're 70 babies, Laura and I. We're those Gen Xers, those
Mm.
mosh pitters. Yep, those key kids.
Hey,
Exactly.
Gear.
Hey, Gear.
Yeah.
I actually didn't have to be a key
Good to
kid.
see
My
you,
mom
Gear.
wouldn't allow that.
Mm. So
So
everybody, do say a
Mhm.
big hello and happy birthday to Dolores, which I
Yeah.
didn't get to say hello to
Which I've been
Dolores. I'm like,
trying to do.
Oh,
yeah.
Happy birthday,
Happy
Dolores.
Happy birthday, Dolores.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Dolores. Happy birthday to you.
Yay! Happy
We should have
birthday,
just let
Dolores.
Maureen sing.
Yeah. She is kind of a professional, you know.
She is,
Oh,
isn't she?
Yeah.
Your hubby is a baby to you. You cradle rubber.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
Cradle
wow.
rubber.
It's not
He's
that
a
often.
cougar.
It's not that often that you see that the lady is older than the man, but it does, you know, yeah.
Mm-hmm. It works.
It works.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, it was like, yeah, maybe about, I don't know if it was 4 or 5 years ago, there was a young man who was in his late 30s and he was like, yeah, I'm really interested. And you're like, I'm old. I'm like,
No.
I'm
I
like
had
10 years
that
younger
when
than your mom.
Yeah,
And
I
it's like,
don't
no,
have
no, no,
the
no.
energy for you. Sorry.
No, no, no. But at this point now, exactly. Well, actually, that not that I said that, but I said you're on the accumulation of getting things.
Yeah.
I'm on the decline of
Yeah.
letting it life. You know,
Yeah.
I'm going to well, I am retired, but it's like I'm going to
Yes.
retire, and I want to sit in a rocking chair and look at my gardens and talk to my chickens. I don't want to go, hey, let's buy more houses and more things and go, skydiving and la la la.
I'm
But
just
now
thinking I like to sleep sometimes when I go to bed. So
Exactly.
at that age, they know.
Mama needs to sleep. Mama needs to
it.
sleep. Mama does not need to hurt her back.
No.
That's
It's like,
right. That's right.
get your
Or
business done
or
and
wear
then good night.
little outfits and everything's hanging out. No, I'm okay.
No, no.
No.
Mhm.
Sorry, GT.
Oh,
But
I have seen so many interesting outfits lately
I live in Florida.
at the
yeah.
Wally World. Oh
Yeah, yeah.
my goodness. Oh,
It's all over here because it's Florida and everybody's hot. So yeah,
yeah.
you get really interesting outfits.
It's like, okay.
Well, God bless them though. They think they can carry that
Yeah,
look off. Good for them.
that
They got some
outfit is the
confidence.
same color of your skin and it's really tight.
Yeah.
right.
Oh, that
Yeah,
one.
I almost
lady.
can't tell the difference.
That's right. Where's
Yeah.
your
And
pants?
you don't have a
Why
lot
do you have
under
pants?
it.
The Walmart
And
lady.
it's
with
almost
pants
see-through.
blended. Yes. That was
I
so
just
funny.
can't. I just it blows my mind. Andrew's parents are 17 years older than him, and he goes, "You guys are old," and they're like, "We're young and hip with you."
That's
Mhm.
right.
Lots of happy birthdays to you, Dolores.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right, Dolores. She's heading to bed. Night.
Okay, just gonna try to get them. Oh, karaoke night. Yeah. Oh, you're a cougar. Hey, you call yourself. Mhm.
You go with
Oh,
that.
she even got a cake.
I'm
hope
thinking
she's
I'm more like a chihuahua.
Well, ladies and gents, I am 20 minutes to 2 a.m. and
Oh my gosh. Yes.
Wow.
you know,
Yes.
because I took the day off today as my complete rest day and did absolutely nothing.
Beautiful.
Tomorrow I have a really busy day because I got some more garden beds that I need to fill up with some more wood and dirt that I picked up. So yeah, God willing anyway, that I can get some of that done so that I can get some of these. Okay, I do have a question before I leave.
Okay. Hey, casings.
Okay. Seed casings.
Hardening off plants, because
gosh.
I've always only direct sowed
Yeah.
or bought seedlings from the store. I don't have the strength, the energy, by the time my day is done, to lug these heavy boxes of peppers in and out of the
Mhm.
house. Seriously, I don't. My
Mhm.
ankles won't handle it. My arms, I don't have the
Yeah.
strength to do it. So what I've been doing is I've been putting them, I have 2 south-facing windows, and I've been putting them in the windows and letting just the wind and the air
Yep.
and everything
That's perfect.
blast the zucchini, blast the tomatoes, blast the
Yep.
peppers, and I have too many plants, so I have to stagger them, right?
Mhm.
Is that conditioning them enough?
From my perspective, I would say yes, rather than, having to move them. The other
Right.
thing at this time of the year, because you are past your frost, to harden them off, the other thing is I would put them on that south-facing window
Right.
and just put something like rummy cloth over them at night. Be more than enough.
Mhm.
That's
And
my
how long have you been hardened off? Sorry.
Yeah, GT had that. He was like,
I didn't hear your question.
how long have you been doing that? The hardening off part at the window.
Oh, I haven't been. I'm asking you guys if that would be. I mean, I have had the
Oh,
I have had the windows open and they've been sitting in front of the window, but that's during the heat of the day. It's not been in the evening, right? They haven't had that.
No.
But when you harden off anyway, when you take them outside, so let's just say I carry these trays of plants outside and I do have a table out there. You're supposed to, hardening off means that you
Yeah.
give them 2 hours of sun and
Mhm.
make sure it's 2 hours of evening time as well, and then bring
Yeah.
them back in and do this for 5 days.
It's good that you brought it up though, because I would think I would be looking for, if I moved into an area where I had to do that, I would be looking for a bar cart that I could put that on, like a used bar cart, and
Yeah.
just roll my plants out and roll them back in. Because I
Yeah.
ain't, mama ain't carrying
Or
them
a
in and
shelf,
out.
a shelf with wheels also
Yeah,
works.
or that if you have
Mhm.
that
Well,
many
I have
plants.
a 5-tier shelf with wheels, but I mean
Oh.
my ground, yeah, but that's on my south-facing window, and
Mm.
Right.
it would have to be, it wouldn't roll around very easily because I've literally got outside my side door here, which is the door that I mainly use. There's like literally 6 inches of gravel and
Oh, yeah,
then
no.
It'd be
grass.
hard.
Yeah, no.
I
So
would,
Yeah.
I would wait.
Duncan says that it would work.
Yeah,
It
yeah.
it should work, but I would wait until the best, like really watch your forecast really good
Okay.
and see when you have the warmest period to
Okay.
put them out, and
Yeah.
then they'll slowly adjust, and so it won't be as shocking. I would recommend though that before you put them out totally in the ground, that you put them at least out on that table just for one night,
Okay.
before you put them out into the ground, because that might be too much shock for them.
I don't have
Mhm.
enough room on my table for all my plants.
Well,
Oh,
on the ground too is
well, you
okay.
could do them in phases. You could do them in phases.
I got one table. No, I'm not lifting and lugging. I ain't doing it.
No, I meant if you have all that many plants, you're
Yeah.
not going to plant all that in one day, are
I
you?
will. Yes, I will.
Okay. Because I
And
was just thinking your first phase and then your second phase could come out.
yeah, and I'm not planting all of these anyway. My neighbor was supposed to come and pick a bunch of them up. Him and another neighbor up the road are planting a garden, and he actually helped me with my lawnmower, and he never showed up to pick them up. So I figure
Oh,
that
no.
he doesn't want them. So
Yeah.
what I'm going to do is I'm just going to use that small table. I think, Laura, that's an excellent idea, though. At least the peppers, leave them out for one night before they actually go in the ground. And the other thing that I do have besides that one table is I have the back of my truck.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there you go.
So I could use that, right? Couldn't I?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like a table.
Yep.
The table
Oh,
and the
Duncan
truck.
says, can you set them inside your raised beds and cover them at night for the first week or so?
No,
Like
because
I said, it's like you can put them.
no, the slugs would devour them, Duncan, inside
Oh, okay.
the, yeah. No, they would be devoured.
So how are you going to handle that when
I'm
you
gonna have to go to the hardware store and get some bait
okay,
and
Yeah.
put that down?
put that down because they're eating everything. They're eating the hostas. They've eaten all of my
Mhm.
Yeah.
cosmos. They've eaten my marigolds. They're
Yeah.
eating my nasturtiums. It's all gone. They're like little sticks. That's
Yeah, I'm
what I
pretty
call
sure
them.
Yeah.
that might be what ate
Stinkers.
my marigolds when I went
Yeah.
out.
Hmm.
Here, my
Yes.
marigolds have been eaten, just so you know. Don't if
So
you don't see them
well,
in the video.
thank you so much, Krista.
Yeah.
It was
Okay,
great
good
getting
night,
to know
everybody.
you and hearing
Was.
all your wonderful stuff. Have a good
Yeah.
rest. And
Yep.
we look forward to seeing you YouTube streets.
Yeah.
How do I leave? Just click it
It
off.
says leave studio. It's a
Is
red X. Red X at the bottom.
Oh, there it is, guys.
There
Okay.
you go. All right.
Take
Have
care.
a good one,
Bye.
Krista. Nice talking to
Bye.
you.
Nice to meet
Bye.
you all.
You
Yeah,
too.
nice to meet you too. So Casings,
Clear my throat. Hold on.
she was one of the people that asked that said, "Hey, I'll take some seeds from you. So I'll take some Nona seeds." And so I sent her some Nona seeds,
Aw.
and then she just sent me this, and she goes, is this the Nona plant? Is this the right one?" Which I'm so glad she did, because there was a part of me that went, did I send her actual Nona seeds? Yes, darling, this is an Italian pear style tomato. Yes, it's probably small. I am not sure. The plants look amazing. Like, look at that.
Yeah.
Look at that.
Come on.
Look at
Come
you,
on.
Casings. Wow.
Are you pruning? That's the other thing, is that if you pruning out and the elbows of them,
The
that's
suckers,
another,
yeah.
the suckers. Yeah. I'm going to just remove that. There we go. Are you there? I want to get rid of that. Sorry, I'm talking out loud to myself and then you.
That's okay.
Yeah, that's right. So yes, they're probably still small, but they will get larger in size. I don't know where you live, and if it is warm where you live. I don't remember where exactly you live. So if you are still here, and Chris just says, thanks for having me up on panel. Nice to meet everyone.
It was
Nice
great
to meet
meeting you
you.
too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you could put them in the raised bed.
Yeah. And
Mhm.
put plastic domes on them. We just got a really heavy rain, and I had my plastic dome over my last watermelon sprout. That's where all my marigolds got eaten. That's around that mound, and it's barely there. They because the rain eroded the soil. They went on something
Oh,
went.
wow.
Yeah. So yeah, I'll be moving my watermelon seeds if I drop any.
Yeah.
Mm,
Anne says,
I'm
I
sorry.
had slugs come over from my garden wall from the next field to us.
Right?
And we got
They're
rid of them.
tenacious.
Yeah,
Mhm.
they
And
were
there's
bad this year.
yeah, they go up
Mhm.
our back fence usually is where I'll see them, and I'll start throwing them out in the canal. The snails, at least.
Oh,
not the
yeah, the
frogs.
ducks love them. So
Yep, I throw them out in the canal for the wildlife.
Yeah.
that's
But
what I
they're-
do when I find them in the garden, and pick them off and throw them
Give-
to
The ducks.
the ducks.
Mm.
I do, and
Mhm.
I've done beer traps in the past, but I really like that slug bait stuff. That
Oh,
works.
does the slug bait work really well?
Mhm.
But what is it though? What
Oh,
is that stuff?
I don't know, but it's like I use it. But
it's
I
generic. It's organic, but it's
yeah,
Oh,
I
okay.
just called slug bait.
Okay. That's
But
what I
right
wondered.
now we're
It's
dealing with the
organic.
tent caterpillars, and I know
Ugh.
our I forget, it's something our life. They bought a property. They lived in Calgary, bought a property in northern Ontario. Couldn't get out to the property. Like, they packed up their whole life in their little truck, drove across, and then got stuck where they couldn't actually even enter into the property. Well, right now they've got little starting plants and whatever. The tent caterpillars are decimating everything in their forest. And it's like,
Oh, no.
he left his glove outside on the ground overnight,
Yeah.
it's leather, all chewed with great big holes in it. And it's like when they're videotaping, they're just showing it. It's like they're crawling on everything. So they're having a really bad
Terrifying.
epidemic of them. I've got a few, but it's like, especially if I'm wearing gloves, I'm now just pick them, bink, bink, bink. Oh,
Yeah.
good. Oh, so here's casings here. I pruned them yesterday. Good. They grew so fast. They are big for this time of year. I'm glad you could ID it. Yes.
Mhm.
Yes, because there was a part of me that it was like,
Be
did
right
I send her from the right package that they were the known as? But yes, those are those uh tomatoes that came from Italy. Oh,
Mm.
so Perfection Baking says, GT, I wanted to buy your family a greenhouse. I pray to be so fortunate. I picked it out on Amazon and just waiting to get rich. So she wants to buy you
Aw.
a greenhouse. She's trying
Aw.
to manifest it for you.
Aw. Just waiting to get rich. Yeah, aren't we all?
Okay.
Yeah.
Have
Being
you
rich would be something.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
know, right?
Yeah, and it just, like with our group, it would just take one of us. And we would,
Mm.
and I know that, in this little core group, we'd all go, and
Let me
there's a
bless
million for
you.
you, and there's a million for you, and there's a million for you, and there's a million for you.
Yeah.
Like you just would, because you go, I wanna see people move forward. And I don't
Yeah.
want them to be hung up with stuff,
Mhm. Yeah.
So
Right after I
mhm,
take care of my family, yes, that could happen. Yeah, absolutely. No, that
mhm,
actually, when my mom passed, she left a little bit of money and I bought things for people or I sent them money. If they had shipped me things, I sent some money their way out of that
mhm,
money.
Now I have a greenhouse, Perfection
mhm.
Baking. I have one. It's not the best, but when I get the the real greenhouse, it's gonna be about $7,000, something like that.
Wow.
Yeah,
Mhm, mhm,
yeah. It's
I have,
really pricey, but it's
yeah,
worth it.
yeah.
mhm,
Next year, I plan to build a 5x5 greenhouse that I'm trying to figure out how to insulate it with air, have like a
Yeah.
air pump or whatever,
Mhm.
whatever it's
Mm.
called, to put that barrier there and then facilitate it like that.
You
I
gotta
want to
do the water in the middle too, like you see with some of them, that somehow that also helps with the
radiant heat.
thermal. Mm-hmm.
Yes, I have the rocks that are gonna go up underneath it, but I'm still planning it. But
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
yeah,
know. Well, there's
I,
so many good ideas on YouTube University. You want to be able to incorporate them all and not see something and go, oh,
you should have done that one. I'm gonna do
Or you
all of
build
them.
something and it's all done and you're like, oh man.
yeah, exactly. But I react like, oh,
Yeah.
should have done that.
Me, it's always, why did you have to just act so fast? Why couldn't you just wait a little longer? And you could have seen the next version that came out, and it's just so much better and bigger and faster and better.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's me.
Yep, that's like
Oh,
me.
Amber says,
But it
"This spring
done. I
over
have to get it
150
done.
tundra eggs found. Good enough waiting for on walrus now. What are tundra
Wow.
eggs?
They're when they go out and they get the nest eggs. That's how they get a bunch of eggs for their meals, right, Andrew? Like
Mhm. But I don't know what
maybe?
is
Is it the
wild tundra egg.
birds?
Well, I was just even shocked that seagulls had eggs from a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah. I think they go out on the wild tundra and get them out of the nests of the birds
Mhm.
out there, right,
Mhm.
Andrew? Or is this something other than real eggs? Because you guys also call like uh certain fats ice cream that are not ice cream. Just saying.
Mm.
Eskimo ice cream is not a real like ice cream to an American. You might
Mm.
freak us out a bit down here. Well, in the
Mm.
lower 48. I shouldn't say an
Yeah.
American because you're an American. You're in Alaska.
Mhm.
150 miles. We need to know.
Mhm.
Andrew, you can't step away now. We're
Yeah.
waiting.
You have to tell us.
What a West Tundra egg is.
Mhm. Oh, here we go. Oh, just maybe. Oh, yeah, eggs we find in the tundra where birds, ducks, seagulls. So it doesn't matter what kind of eggs.
That's right. All the nests. They go through all the nests. I've seen it
Okay,
done.
we're just calling them tundra
Mhm.
eggs.
Yeah, because it varies what birds are
Oh,
out there with
you know
them.
what? You can just bite it there, CR.
No, he
GT,
meant that
he
for us
goes,
that we should
he goes,
relax.
I like how GT is working while the ladies relax.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, whatever.
Kind of relax really hard now for that comment.
Yeah. It's like,
Mm.
let me
Create
just put my
redundancy.
feet up here.
Yeah,
Oh.
creative redundancy is so positive. I think he meant that in a positive way.
Positive, yes, yes.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
true. But
It got so bad that now when I
here we
begin.
go. You want to read that one? It got so bad that now when I begin with, I got an idea. Hubby says, if you saw it on YouTube, forget I'm not building it. All right, because because she
Wow.
had said earlier, she goes, I see something, and get hubby to build it, and then I see better right after.
Oh
Yeah.
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 Yep.
Ooh, I want that one now.
Just
Ooh, I
shop
want that
just
one,
shop
Mom.
on Etsy. They have the plans that people usually make, but look for really good,
Mhm.
what do you call that? Reviews. Like real
Yeah.
reviews though. Y- Make sure they don't look like all the reviews came in on a day apart. Those aren't usually real. That's one of
Yeah.
the ways to tell.
Mm. So
Oh, Valley
GT
of
go
the
to
Moon.
Valley and Moon and
Oh,
collect the eggs from the shore. Everyone there or everyone here, what's wild?
once wild eggs, I think is
Once
that. That's what it
eggs.
was. Once wild
Mm.
eggs.
I seen my first seagull baby today. I
Oh,
don't think I've ever
really?
seen one.
I don't
No,
think
Yes,
you
I've
it was
don't
like
ever.
seen
four
a
of them.
baby.
Yeah,
No.
you don't.
It's weird.
And you don't
I
see
seen them
pigeons.
today.
Mm.
They're funny
Wow.
looking. They're funny looking.
Wow, that's
Yeah, they
crazy.
are.
Yeah,
And
no,
then the
you don't.
bird was mad at me. It was mad at me, so it came. I'm like, no, I'm just trying to get in my
Ooh,
car. Leave me
yeah.
alone.
And buzzing
But
you
yeah,
and
that was
stuff.
pretty weird.
Mm.
Mockingbirds will do that too. They'll dive bomb you if you're too
Yeah.
close to their nest. Yum, seagull gear says.
Oh.
Everything's edible for gear.
Yeah.
Mm,
Mm-hmm.
and everything makes CR hungry.
Yep.
Yeah.
Except for probably not the roasted hornworms. Uh-oh. Oh, you're doing a picture. I thought my Wi-Fi went out.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
So let's go
wow.
and look at
Yeah,
some
they are kind of
seagull
different looking, aren't
babies.
they?
Yeah, a little bit fuzzy. Let's see if I
Yeah.
can view this file. Share this tab instead. There we go. He's a little bit
That
bigger.
one's cute, though, I think.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
Darth X tastes like chicken. Tastes like chicken. Yeah, I bet
Mhm.
fishy chicken, too, because that's what they eat.
Mm-hmm.
What the heck is in its mouth? Ugh.
Ew, it's just dirty
Bugs.
mouth. Probably, yeah. Whatever mom threw up in there.
Gross.
Tab. Click.
Brenda said she thought the same thing. Fishy chicken. It's all that
Mm,
fish.
and then, oh yeah, go back to this one. I'm just gonna see about getting one more. But yeah, you don't see seagull babies.
No, they
So
hide them really well.
sweet.
Yeah.
I don't think
Well, I
I've
mean,
even
their
ever.
spots probably hide them pretty well too.
Yeah, but I mean,
That's
like their
so
nest. I've never
pretty,
seen
hey?
one. Yeah, I've never seen a nest from a seagull, even. And they're all over here. I've never seen them make a nest.
I
Hmm.
definitely got it on video. I'm
Yeah.
like,
Oh,
what?
that's
I
cool.
had to. I've never seen this. So I was like, oh,
No.
yes.
Yeah.
CR's less hungry now, talking about the eating seagulls and the throwing up in the mouth of the baby.
Mm.
What kind of seagull is that? I've never seen a black-faced seagull like that.
Yeah, me either.
No. No.
Pretty.
Mm-hmm. They are.
Mhm.
It's like, how do they keep their feathers so clean and white? That's what I want to know.
They preen
Yeah.
them. They clean them themselves. And they use their beak to clean the feather. It's called preening.
Mm-hmm.
All birds do
Okay,
it.
thanks.
Preening?
Preening. They
Preening.
preen. Yeah, they just nibble
Oh,
on their
okay.
feathers, and they even straighten out how they're supposed to be on their body. We used to have
Mhm.
little
Yes,
parallettes.
that's
They do. All birds do it.
Yeah, that's what our chickens do. But it's
Yeah.
just
Yeah, that's
like
what our chickens do. I didn't know it was
Yeah.
called preening.
Preening.
preening. Yeah, they're
Preening.
preening. And actually, at the back of the tail, there's a little oil gland,
Mm-hmm.
and they go and they stick their beak into that, and that actually is they're coating over their
Yeah.
their leaves is what came
So
to my
see,
mind.
you
Their
knew.
feathers.
You knew.
Mhm.
I just know it's just like, man,
They probably
like
have.
I've got white chickens and they are not that white.
You know what? It's probably because they are extra oily in that gland because they're eating all that fish,
Mhm.
and it
That's true.
creates like a slick Plus, they
Yeah.
do dive down into the ocean, so they
Yeah.
probably have
Yeah, they're probably cleaner.
more of a barrier.
You know, and the thing is that like
Tastes like
along with seagulls, you never see pigeon babies.
yeah,
Never seen a pigeon
true.
baby. And then there's some guy, I wish I could remember, he's an artist, and he actually writes this really, like, it's like, I don't know how the singers and everybody sang the song, and they've got backup singers, and like, like 3 or 4 of them singing the
Mhm.
harmonies, and it's really a serious song, like how they're singing it, but it's all about the fact that you've never seen a pigeon baby, and it's like absolutely hilarious. It was like, he
I
stopped
love
and go,
those. I
I
love
go,
those.
I haven't ever seen a pigeon baby.
I love those. And that guy, he's got such a different name who makes songs where those cats will talk. Have you ever seen that? And then he mixes a whole song around
Okay.
the cat
Oh, that's
saying
great.
something. Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Yes, we still eat the eggs with the birdies inside.
Oh yeah. That's
Ah,
the Philippines. They do that with ducks.
no,
Mhm.
But
no,
balut, I think it's
no,
Yeah,
called
balut.
balut. Bob
no.
told us all about balut. Boop.
I'm gonna start fly fishing the
I think I'm
drone.
going to step down. I'm starting to fade. It's
Okay,
Mhm.
Laura.
been a
Thanks,
long
Laura,
day.
for coming
Yeah.
in and hanging out with us. I do really
Yeah.
appreciate it.
Yeah. I
Mhm.
hope everything works out with the water, hon.
I'm sure it will.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
God will provide. God will provide.
Yep. Yep.
Yep.
Mhm.
All right, you guys. Thank you
Much love.
Take
for having
care.
me up. Bye.
Okay. Bye. Go over to Laura's home and visit her if you don't have her in your neighborhood.
Yes. Yeah, in your
Oh.
neighborhood. If you go to my
Yes.
community page, you can see how wild eggs lay on the tundra.
Oh,
Ooh,
cool.
okay.
Okay.
Do you want to grab that?
Mm.
Or no, I think I'm okay. I think I'm put up in the chat, so I can go. I'll be fine.
What
I'll
grab
be
what?
fine.
Okay.
Oh, I want to go to Andrew. Oops.
Because my
La, la,
thing
la.
is my Wi-Fi is being so wonky. You guys just did that like the I don't know, like you were rapping a second ago. It was weird.
Mhm.
And Duncan and LP are in the same box over here on my StreamYard. There's no separation of line,
All right.
barely.
Go to channel. There we go. And I'm going to the channel. No, it's easier for me because it's
Oh,
it's
you
just
wanted
where
to get Laura's? Oh, we should have just had her do
no,
the
yeah,
hashtag.
well, you could do Laura's.
Okay,
Andrew, they
you're doing
unsubscribed
Andrew.
me from you.
All right, let me see.
Just rude.
Totally.
Go to your community. Oh my goodness. Well,
What?
you will all want to see this. I will tell you that. It's quite spectacular. Present, share screen, Andrew's Northwest Coins,
Wow,
and
my
share.
so
Look at
slow.
this. And it is, I think that's as big as I can.
Whoa.
Maybe I can make it bigger. I don't know. I'm waiting. Come on, you can do it. Oops. There they are. Oh, no, it's not really much bigger, is it? Look at that. But look at how well, like, it would be easy to miss them.
Oh, hold on. I got to come over and see it because I'm looking up hedgehogs. Aw,
Aren't they
is that a
neat?
seagull's nest? That's so cool, Andrew. I think it looks so pretty up against what they grabbed to make the nest out of. I wonder if it's different probably in every area, whatever is available to them.
Mm-hmm.
But it looks beautiful up against the red, like whatever is growing around them. And then, yeah, it's just such a beautiful picture too, Andrew. I'll make sure to come over and like that and make sure too that I'm still subscribed.
B-E-A-U-T.
It is being so
B-E-A-beautiful.
I know.
It's like, oh my gosh, Maureen.
Oh, please. I'm having moments over here. My thing is so glitchy tonight.
It was glitchy when I was first starting. So,
It's being super glitch. Let me
oh my gosh, Anne. Come on.
what? I
She
missed
found out
it.
that she was unsubbed from 7 people.
Oh, I thought you meant yesterday that you were unsubbed from me that many times or something when we were talking.
She's done it. She said for your channel alone 4 times.
Yeah, yep. It's crazy. Oh, this is Laura's link, by the way. I'm dropping, guys. I didn't write her name next to it. It's Hedgehog's Homestead's link. But I think most of you maybe have been to Laura's house.
Yes, LP, you have night owls and wet coasters is what we
Yes.
are. We are on the wet end, wet end of it.
The wet coasters.
Yeah,
Just not right.
I know.
That's
should be-
just weird. What?
Should be a pause, but
Yeah, total pause. Total
Mhm.
pause.
mm,
Plus, like Florida, I
people
think
in
would
your
be a wet
neighborhood.
coast.
in the neighborhood, in your neighborhood. Yes, who are the people in your neighborhood? They're the people in the YouTube streets.
I got some great news, y'all.
Yay!
Oh.
What?
We won it.
Y'all know what I'm doing. I'm I'm getting my home ready to be in assisted living, correct?
Mhm.
They're coming to visit my place on the 1st.
Ooh, it's
Yeah,
happening. I
so
need to put my lipstick on for this moment.
July. So July 1st?
Yay.
July 1st is when I will officially have them come in. They will evaluate, see what's right, what's wrong, and tell me what's up. And
Yeah, that's when they
it's
give you
gonna,
it's like an inspection, right? And they give you the list if
yes,
there's anything not up to code, and then you got to fix
yeah.
that. And then, okay. So we'll be
Now
praying that you got it all. What is it?
Mm-hmm.
the thing about it is, my home at one point was an assisted living home.
Oh,
Mhm.
perfect.
So everything is
Set up.
it's set up already.
That's
Like
awesome.
the elevator, everything is already done.
That's
Everything
Wow.
is
amazing.
it's
Did you figure
yeah.
out how many clients exactly you would have to have in order to offset what you're making going out of the home? You probably did. Like,
Uh,
as far as having how many people in compared to what you're making right now.
one,
Oh, just one. That's amazing.
just one.
Good, because I didn't want you to be overwhelmed in your own house either. Because caretaking, kudos to everyone who caretakes. It's a lot. It's a lot.
The thing about it is Alaska pays differently than the lower 48. That is a big. That's the biggest difference. Some don't. It's different. Like there's
Okay.
only one other state that I know of, which is North Carolina. The other states they
Oh.
don't pay like Alaska. So
Yeah, because you were looking at maybe coming back towards the
North
south.
Carolina, North
Okay.
Carolina.
That's
So
good to
in
know.
5 years, I seen the property already, but it was just a rough draft. It's $399,000,
Mm.
and it's on. I forgot how many acres, but it's a nice place. It also has a what's the uh like where your in-law stay? That what is it called?
In-law
Mother-in-law
suite.
suite.
In-law suite or
Yeah.
mother-in-law suite. Yeah.
So
Wow.
it's off of the main house and stuff. So there's a lot of potential there. I mean, I'm not going to choose that house, but
Yeah.
it just was something I just wanted to go look for. So
Yeah.
so
So
this
then
is about to be this is the
Real.
new chapter of my life. Like
Yeah.
yeah,
So
I've
then
been
you'll just be working from home.
yes.
Basically.
There's no that's it. That's it. I'm
That'll
done.
be, that'll
10
be
years.
great.
I'm retiring. Yeah.
I don't blame
Mm.
you. I don't blame you.
I've-
Isn't that
I've put
kind of
in-
that's what Black's Tropical kind of did for a while with her lady that she talked about. She's now passed. They did
Yes.
similar situation. Yeah.
Yes.
That's amazing.
This is going to be very profitable. I'm going to continue. Well, the home that I'm at now, my second job.
Yay.
Thank you, Perfection Baking. The second job that I have, the one that I'm at now.
Mhm.
Thank you, Duncan. This is
Yeah.
actually I'm going into next month, and I already told them I would do this. I told them.
What was
I
that?
told them that,
Oh, must
no, we a carry
I
state,
just
so
heard. I know.
it's sound like freedom or some nonsense, one of the two. So I already told them that I will work 2 days in July.
Okay.
So after that last day,
Hmm.
that probably will be my last day,
Wow.
working for someone else.
That's great.
Mhm.
So
That's great.
and now I'm just trying to see what I'm gonna try to push my son to do, because
Mm.
with all the animation that we're going through, AI and everything, it's
Yeah.
it's one of those things where he's not going to think about those things because he's 14. When I was
Right.
14, I wasn't thinking about stuff
No.
like that. When I was 20, I wasn't thinking about
No.
stuff like that. When I
That's right.
was 30 years old, I wasn't, because I didn't
Mhm.
have kids. I didn't want responsibility. So
Yeah.
at
Mhm.
31, 32, that's when I started to think about different things.
Right.
How can
Right.
I be a better steward to my son? I was thinking of how can I make a bigger impact? And
Yeah.
Mhm.
um I'm here now, so I get to
Yeah.
Mhm.
really raise him and give him some life lessons, while
Yeah.
he's still in high
Mm.
school.
Right.
Yeah,
Mhm.
so
Yeah, and help hopefully bend him towards something he's gifted in, but won't be canceled out with AI in the future, like you were saying, now that there's AI, like to help him make a good decision for his own future in this really weird world that they're going to be in and we're going to be in, hopefully. But you know what I
yeah,
mean? Like I thought about that. I sat down, I was like, oh my gosh, yeah, what would I do if I was in college now? I would have to go into graphic design. Like my position as just a regular fine arts teacher is fading away as far as like people still love artists and I'm not saying anything. It's just graphic design to make an income. And
Mhm.
even they are not pulling it in. I talked to a graphic designer, you really got to be at kind of the top. Or
Mhm.
you've got
Well,
to be
because you've got things like Canva.
yes,
People
where people can do
can
it themselves. Yeah.
models.
Like what would I do? I don't know what I would do if I was in college. It's like I could
Mhm.
go graphics, but I'm still not making good money.
Mhm.
and that's where I'm kind of figuring things out, because I
Yeah.
want to lead him in a direction that's going to be. He might not like it now, but hopefully in 5 years or so after he graduates, he'll be like, "I'm glad my dad pushed me that way, because
Yeah.
I
Mhm.
see that I'm an essential staff."
Thank you. Yeah.
And it's
Mhm.
just like, certain jobs we think will never be replaced.
Right.
Like remember when we was over on 710 and
Oh, I
he
missed
played
it.
that song? He played the song. I forgot the name of the app. I was like, "What are
Oh,
you
is it from
serious?"
Udio, the one that you told me
Yes,
about?
Udio.
Yes.
Yes, that's
How
so
in the
sad
world? I
for all
mean,
the musicians. It's so sad. AI is
Yeah,
gonna
well, I made one for Broke Farmer.
yeah. That's what she told me about it. Yeah.
Mhm.
hmm?
Yeah, and all I did is it was just a few lines,
Mhm.
all about watermelon wars, and
Mhm.
it's like it is so professional. It sounds so good. It's not like it's got a big rhyming scheme, but I throw it in there, and 10 minutes later, you go, "Here's this very cool
Yeah.
song." Broke's got it
Yeah. They're
on his
even
channel.
coming out with AI models. There was something they were talking about even on YouTube. Like, why bother? Like, even taking our little side hustle away on YouTube, they can do it with AI. They can start a whole YouTube channel and the person isn't even real.
Mhm. Yep.
Like, what are
We
our
the
kids?
people. I don't know.
What are our kids?
We
I
the
know. What are
suckers.
right?
We
We
the
What?
gotta get
suckers.
more unified, because
We the
they gonna
suckers.
get us.
It's looking closer and closer to that Will Smith movie. They have that
I
one.
robot.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but there is still things like, um, your trades. You're always going to need
Yeah,
people
people
to,
fix your toilet.
yeah,
Mhm.
Yes.
Yeah,
and you're going to need people to cut hair, and you're going to need people to
true,
do those kinds of things. They're
true.
always, you
I
know,
don't know, they came up with that blow bead. I don't know if you remember that it used to just suck in your hair.
Yeah.
Yeah. I had a friend who had one, and he used it for
I
many, many years.
I have one for the dog. They sell them on Amazon, and it helps so much because it just sucks away the hair as I shave it. Yeah, it's a
Mm.
Yeah,
little
it's like
vacuum.
72 degrees here, Darth X. Something like
Oh,
that.
yeah. Yes, it is warmer. It
Oy,
is warmer for
pardon my
you than
bum.
it is,
That's the little vacuum, and it comes with all attachments to shave your dog, and it's the best. I actually should do a little video on it and get my Amazon affiliate back because it is
Mm.
such a fun little thing. But I mean, I know you all have seen it on Amazon, but these are all the attachments.
I've
Wow.
never
Isn't
seen
that
it
kind of
before.
cool? Oh yeah,
Yeah, I've
this
never
is
seen
like
it
a
before.
disheader. This is the
They
coolest thing. You press, you comb them, and it goes right in the middle there. You just let go of the button. See the little prongs? Watch. There they go, and it sucks it right in. Isn't that cool?
Wow.
Yeah, it's
It's
got
yeah,
it's
fun stuff.
51 degrees here right now, GT,
I don't know what it
on
is
the
here.
island.
51
51 here,
Fahrenheit.
Fahrenheit.
Let me
Oh
blow you all.
wow.
I'll blow you all out of the water. You can hate me. Oh, actually, no. It's mild. It's only 78 here.
Shut up.
Not. It's only perfect weather here in my state.
Shut up.
Mm.
There you go. Darth
Sorry.
X just said it. Trades. We need places to live. AI cannot build housing.
That
True.
we have to remember these things while
Yeah.
we're trying to be influencers and all these other things. We
Mhm.
have to. That's what I'm trying to find the
Yeah.
balance.
Yeah. The only
I'm
thing that
really.
they can do is they can create the plans and take architects out.
Did you
Like they
see?
did.
Look, they already got 3D printers. I
Yeah.
forgot about that aspect.
That's right. They're
Yeah.
doing it with
But
parts
there's
of the house. They still need the laborers, though, there to, I would think, help.
eventually they won't.
Eventually they won't. Oh my gosh, we're gonna just
31 degrees and oh man, Andrew. And Andrew, I would never get on the slingshot. That is that's I'm super duper scared of that. They was at the Diamond Mall there, Andrew, because that's where it's at. And I was talking to one of my clients and I told him, I was like, no. He was like, oh, what if they give you $1 million? I said, no, because they would have video of me just releasing everything out of my body. Because that's
Yeah, no.
no.
No, I would
I
be
don't
like
even
the
like
ones that is it that ride he's talking about, Slingshot?
it's the thing that's on
Yeah,
wires and it shoots you all the way
you
up in
up.
the air.
Okay, it goes that
No.
way. I forgot.
My wife promised me stuff that if I went on it, I don't want it. I get it
Yeah.
another day. I don't want that.
The only one
I'm not getting
I
on
was
no slingshot. It's just silly.
I went on the
No.
pole. I went on the one where you sit around the pole and it shoots
On
you
the
up in the air.
pole.
Yeah, yeah, that doesn't sound right.
What? Pause.
Pause. We're all in like little chairs, and they're circular around this big pole, and they just shoot that whole thing up with all the chairs that you're sitting in, all the way up to the
Mhm.
sky real fast, and then they can just drop you, and then they tease you a little bit with the. But yeah, I would never get on the one that's on bungee cords. No way.
I'm
No
not getting
way.
on either one of them.
I
Mhm.
can't now either. The
Even
pain.
when I was
I would
younger, I didn't do those.
not that $1 million is a lot, but I would do it for $1 million.
Yeah,
I
maybe $1
don't
million.
care. I don't care that I peed my pants, probably,
$1 million.
did little poop poops and, and possibly threw up.
Grew up. Yeah, that's what I'd be concerned
It would
about.
be like all of it. And it would be like, give me my $1 million.
Yeah.
I want to go and
Yeah.
try to bring down the price of bring down my mortgage, please.
Gosh.
Because it's like $1 million. That's nothing.
Oh my
I mean, I
goodness.
might even do it for $100. It just matters the
Depends on the
mood. It
day.
matters.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
it matters the mood. But right now, no. I'm. It might be a good video, but no, not today, not this year. I'm scared.
Yeah, I'm scared. Yeah.
Mm-mm.
I'd need money on the table. Mind you, I don't
A lot.
mind. Well, I haven't been on rides in years, but I don't mind. I don't mind crazy rides.
See, I can't do any of them because they hurt so. My body hurts so bad if I get jerked around. Even some of the kid rides at Universal, because they go through those fast stops the next day, I can't move. So,
Yeah, I won't do bungee because I just, I know how much I weigh. I know the density of my bones, and I just don't believe that cord it'll just be whoop, ping, snap, and it'll cut right off. Nope, not putting
Yeah,
me
I
on a
have those
bungee.
exercisers that had the bungee cords, and they've done that. So yeah, I don't trust the bungee cords
No,
either.
no, no,
Mm.
no,
I
no.
pass out.
Yeah,
I
that's
know I
what I'm
would.
thinking for the one that you said, the slingshot. I would be
Yeah,
the girl that passes out. Me too.
yeah,
And
I
if
will
you
be that
pass
one.
out, everything can come out if you pass out.
Yeah.
hmm
Very.
Someone say
What
pole
too?
dancing?
No, we did not say that.
Exactly.
He does that for like crazy. I was just talking to that about oh gosh, he used to be farting pain. He's I forget it the longer name of his channel, but he put up something with Beavis and Butthead in it, and I said, I think almost every male in 7th grade somehow has a Beavis and Butthead in their head that they fight for the rest of their life to just keep it in there.
Yeah, Beavis. Yeah. I need TP for my
To not
bunghole.
let it out,
Yeah.
but it's always
Yeah.
there.
Yeah, it's there.
Yep.
Why did we gravitate to that
Because of
type
that
of
was
stuff?
all in Barry's mind, because that
Mhm.
pole dancing thing. That
Yeah.
was all in Barry's mind.
Yeah. Y'all,
Oh
I
my
start a
god.
new chapter. And guess what? The same day, my car put me down.
Oh,
$2,300 to fix the transmission.
Of course. The same
oh.
day you got that
Last
good
month,
news. The same day you got the
yes,
good news. Yep,
it
that's what
put me
happened
down.
to me. Mhm.
Last month, I spent 6,900 on a boiler. I'm
Oh
tapped
my.
out. I'm tapped
Right.
out. The
You're
next
ready.
thing that happened, I can't do nothing but say, Lord, hey, it is what it is, and laugh. That's all I can do. For
Mhm.
real.
Mhm.
Oh
That's
man. But that
Whew.
tells you, at least in my life, when God is about to release something incredible on me, that happens. All kinds of things happen that make me want to quit and just stop because I oh, that's not going to work out because of this, or oh, look at this, I got to go put in more time at work. Like it's something to discourage you so much that you won't get to that blessing, like to just take you out before.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, there was somebody who had posted this really good cool thing. It was all from different characters that were in the BIBLE, and it was
Mhm.
41 days. And it's like 40 days. This is
Yeah,
this, they made it to the 40 day. And it's like if you wouldn't have stopped, you wouldn't hit the 41, which is
yeah,
where you get your blessing. Or
yeah,
39 days. So it's wait for that 40 days.
yeah,
And it was a bunch of times
yeah,
throughout the scriptures. And it was like, oh, okay. I
yeah,
don't know if I'm kind of thinking I'm on the 40-year cycle.
yeah.
So I haven't
Me
quite
too.
made it to that
Right.
point yet.
Yeah,
Um, where it's like, okay, can I hit the promised land now?
I know.
I'm not sure where I am in that year, but it's like,
Yeah.
I would like
Yeah,
just
that's
the
what
40
that
day
actually
one.
was. The 41, the 40th was into the promised land,
Yeah.
was to come out of the wilderness, was I forget because I think you sent it to me. It was
Yeah.
beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
It's very beautiful. And I like that visual of where they show like the gold. What did she say? I'm so tired of our old car. Oh wow. Every week. Oh, you poor thing.
Mm.
I had this Dodge minivan and no joke. God was so good holding that thing together. Oh, I said God. AI is probably gonna come. Sorry. Um, anyway, he was so
Take
good.
your hours.
Yes. He was so good that as soon as we got the Dodge Journey, and it was my first new car I've ever had. As soon as we went to pick it up and I parked that old Dodge Caravan, it started doing all kinds of electrical stuff on the radio and everything, and it just went and died right in that parking spot in front of me. Like the electrical just went out. And I was like, okay, well, I'm glad I'm trading this. I just
Mhm.
walked in and picked up my new car. And
Here's the lemon. Here's the lemon you can have.
yeah, here's the lemon. You ain't giving me much for it anyway.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I after probably my second or third month, I'm going to
Yeah.
I don't know if I need to talk to a financial advisor or
Mm.
someone, but this is going to be more money than I've ever had. And I just want to
Mm.
make sure that I do right by it.
Yeah.
So when
And
you're looking for a financial advisor, you want to go and um, you want to first find somebody who will recommend one, and that somebody that they trust, that they work with, that they've had success. So looking for them, that's to me is that's super important
Mhm.
in my
Looking for
opinion.
Yeah,
okay.
anybody, another business owner that you might know. That's what is that? Usually it's with the city that you join up with other businesses. I can't remember the term for it.
SBA, small business.
There you go.
Yeah,
Something like that. You might find a recommendation for that.
that's what I'll
'Cause
do.
yeah, because you really want somebody who's good with that and also trustworthy with
And
your
not
money.
just take advantage of,
Exactly.
yeah, because it's, you go, here is my money, and they can invest it however they want.
Mhm.
And
But
Exactly.
that's what I don't want to do. I don't want to do stocks. I don't. I know stocks is the way to go, but I don't believe in. I mean, I
yeah,
got a
I'm
little
not,
stocks.
yeah,
I
I'm
don't
not meaning
believe
just,
in it like that. I'm sorry.
no,
Mhm.
I'm not talking about just stocks, but it's like the bottom line to all your money, any money you have in the bank is investing it,
Mhm.
right?
Correct.
Yes.
It's always there, and you go, oh, there's a 5-day business, and you go, well, no, I want my, I want my $100,000, thank you, here's the check for it. Well, we have a 5-day business hold on it, and it's like, no, you can press your buttons and you can get that, give me my money. But the thing is that gives them 5 more days to go and make some more money on
Yep.
the money that they need to give me.
Yes.
So I deposit the check in my bank account. Well, we can't release that money for 5 days. And you're like, you can release that money. You know,
Yes. Right.
the company, you go, it's a life insurance company. They have the money. Oh, we have to make sure that that they have the money. And it's like, it's a life insurance company. It has all the money. And what do you think the life insurance money people do with our money for life insurance? They go and they invest it.
True.
And it's not just in stocks, it's investing in whatever, so that they are
Mhm.
turning a profit.
Right.
So you want to find somebody that you can really trust, and not someone that just would take advantage. So even if you're going to a bank, that's also a good thing. Just to a bank.
Okay.
Mm.
Because I've never done this. This is all new. My
Right.
my dad is he's done a little bit. He's having
Mm.
classes and stuff, but there's still this is
Yeah.
totally a new chapter in my life.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Slingshot Rod uploaded now. Very
Yeah,
funny.
I was
I'm gonna check you
Okay.
just
out, Andrew.
We'll check
I'm gonna
it
check
out,
you out.
Andrew.
Yeah, I'll go over
Then
there.
will it's he's still able to kind of talk the vocabulary? DT, your dad, is he able to kind of speak the vocabulary of investing
Yes,
and money?
we the last 2 or 3 months we've been having classes with my dad, an
Okay, good.
hour, and he just talks about you know his what's it called,
Experience.
trust. He's been talking about his
Oh,
trust. The
okay.
he told us what he had in his bank account and stuff like that. He's given us the tools that we need so that we can do
Mhm.
something, because when he's gone we have to rely on each other, me and my
Right,
right.
sisters and brothers and stuff. So
right.
he's just building those memories. Now he's starting to record them, because I told him, I said, Dad, you know me, I'm not going to remember
Mm.
10% of this.
Yay,
Okay,
I'm
so we
so
got to do
glad.
this.
Oh,
Yeah.
good. You will
So
be
every
so
week that's what we
grateful.
do. We're
That's
trying
good.
to do that, and with this new adventure that I'm taking, I'll
Mhm.
be able to put my siblings in position to where they can do something with themselves, that where they can retire early, because not
Yeah.
many of them, they didn't want kids. So I'm the only one with kids out of my dad's kids. So
Mm,
you know it's a
yeah,
different, I
Mm.
took a different route, because I had to think
right.
about, okay, I have a son now, I have to do things
Mhm.
differently. But
Mhm.
them, they was like, man, I don't want no kids, man. And that's how I was in the beginning. But then I was on that gin and juice, and now I got a
Mhm.
son. I didn't mean to say that. Scratch that from the record.
That's right. That's right. Hey,
Oh,
well, that's how a lot of children get into this world actually is, yeah, a good night of fun. Mm-hmm.
Mhm. Little
Yeah.
bit
Yeah, it
of
was.
road pop and
Mm-hmm. Yep. I'm sure that was
Yeah.
probably me because my parents, I was the whatever will be, I guess, baby.
Mm,
They both had their own, and then I came along like a year after I was a honeymoon baby.
Mm.
They,
mm,
So Andrew says, speaking about dads, my crazy old daddy claimed my 100-foot extension cord.
mm,
mhm,
Your old dad that's only 17 years older than you.
which is
mm,
crazy.
mm,
Yeah,
mm,
that's
mm.
like a brother that's like
Mm-hmm.
my brother. My brothers
Mm-hmm.
are about that old of
Mm-hmm.
compared to me. That's just
Yeah.
wow. But no, I was just wondering because everything has its own vocabulary. Like as I was telling Maureen when I went to look for the art test, if I was going to retake it, all the educational lingo was there, and I was like, yeah, I don't speak that vocabulary anymore. I haven't spoken like that in so many years. And it's good to go in with financial people that you at least know the vocabulary that they're going to throw
Yep.
out in front of you.
Yeah.
And also sound like you do know it so they don't, like Maureen said, try and take advantage.
Mm-hmm. Yep, yep, yep,
That's all.
yep, yep, yep,
Yeah.
yep, yep, yep.
And that's for people watching too. That's
Oh,
not just for my cousin GT. That's
that's
for
right.
you.
So it's June 15th today. And so it's basically 16 days left to go for you.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
That's so exciting. I'm so
Mhm.
Yeah.
happy.
You
I've.
worked hard. You worked hard
Mhm.
to get your house, optimized and
Mhm.
working more days to actually, get to this place. So that's awesome. And
Yeah.
just always remember, GT, is that, you know, your son is watching what you're doing. He is observing that. It's like that's the kind of stuff that sticks. If you were going from job to job and,
Yeah.
barely making ends meet and struggling and, and just not taking responsibility, but you're the example that you're showing him right now, that all that unspokenness is where he's like, yeah, and you're like, it's hard, I am struggling, this is not easy. And if you have days of complaint and whatever, even for that, but he's gonna see that all this stuff you put in there, you actually were able to achieve the goal that you wanted. So it's awesome.
And the bigger thing about it is, yes, he sees all of that stuff and he doesn't care really because
Nope, nope.
I'm not around enough. But when he comes back from Georgia, he will see and he'll be like, wow, my dad's still here. What's he doing here? Okay, he working, but he really here. Like I really
Mhm.
get to invest a lot of time into my family. Like
Mm.
that's the dynamic that the world is missing right now. We're not able to nurture our family
Absolutely.
enough.
True.
Man.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And that's too in the future if you see that he has a bend towards what you're doing, caregiving is always going to be needed. I mean, unless they end up like that movie where we wear a bracelet and we get to a certain age and they hunt us down and get rid of us.
I don't know that movie.
Oh, I
You remember
forgot about I
that?
Robot. Oh
You remember
man.
that? There was a man and a woman, and they had some kind of jewelry that said they've come to the age of when they just kind of off you. You're not allowed to live past a certain age. Yeah.
What movie is that though?
It was an
I
old
can't.
sci-fi movie. I can't remember the name of it. Hey, Que sera, sera. Yes,
Hey,
I was that
Sarah.
baby. Hey, the Clue Channel. Welcome in.
Mhm.
Must have
I
heard
can't
Welcome.
that.
remember.
I can't either. I'll have to look. Let me see if I can look it up. But yeah, we will always need caregiving as long as AI doesn't take over the world and do something horrible like that.
But in iRobot, I remembered that they had a caretaker. That's what the robots was for. They
Oh
rem-
shoot.
I forgot about that.
Oh
Mhm.
shoot. Oh no. Yeah, but they could do. I can't imagine. Well, yeah, I'm not. Never mind. Mm,
Yeah, because of ingenuity. We have a
yeah.
lot of smart people, and if they have more time, maybe they'll be able to create things that'll be. But one
Oh,
thing,
Yeah, there
Oh
was that
man.
companion one that Robin Williams was in, and he was a full-on companion, and she married him. What the heck is
Mm.
Hollywood trying to tell us?
They're always
Ooh,
telling us something.
spooky.
They seen this story before?
Mm.
Woo-wee.
I missed that.
Y'all, I got some big plans. I got big plans. Y'all just
Mm,
remember, I got big
mhm,
plans.
mhm. Oh, it's gonna be wonderful watching you.
Yeah.
It is. I
Mhm.
can't wait to see, like,
Yep.
things just start happening that you've been just working towards.
Mhm.
It'd be amazing.
Yeah.
Well,
I've dug ditches before for
Mm.
$5.15, and I enjoyed it because I'm lighthearted. I know how to make jokes. I know how to find entertainment. So, but wow, I've really changed a lot of things.
mhm.
Mhm.
All right, this thing, what the movie was called Welcome to the 23rd Century, The Perfect World of Total Pleasure, Logan's Run. Interesting. Wait till you
Logan's Run.
It's
Oh
called
yeah,
Logan's Run.
there's an old Logan's Run and there is a new one.
Oh, they put out a new one? I didn't see the new one. This is the
Like
old
no,
one.
right, yeah, I think they do have or no, maybe it's maybe it's not Logan's Run that they made and it might have been like in the 80s, 90s when they did another one. You have to
Yeah, this was a 1976
Mhm.
movie.
I remember seeing that.
Yeah, that's the one, like, that when I see all this AI, I always wonder if we're heading there, and it's so bizarre, some of the look at even the artwork on the packaging, the big rainbow,
Oh,
like,
I
that's
missed
a
that.
little weird.
Mm.
Anyway, they kill them in this lovely elaborate ceremony, supposedly called the carousel. So, yeah, fun. Anyway, yeah, dark thoughts from me, from South Florida sunshine. Sorry, guys. Have have really sweet dreams tonight. Oops, sorry about that. Like,
Mm.
I can't there we go. Good
I
stuff.
love this, it's like our 10-year-old said, you know,
Hey.
"We found you on a beach combing on caribou skin." And I got a full ear from his mom. He just doesn't stop running his mouth. Mhm.
Mm. They're usually the entrepreneurs, the ones that
Uh-huh.
have all that energy.
Mm. Hey.
Right.
Badass
Hey, Dad.
thing.
What's up? What's up, Dad?
What's up, Dad?
I know, I don't. Oh, you guys are so funny. I just
Oh,
wonder if badass.
bye-bye, Anne.
Bye, Ann. Have a great day, honey.
Have a good breakfast.
Yes, enjoy your breakfast now. I want breakfast.
Feed them peeps. Feed them peeps.
Yeah, I'm not gonna say what else. Thank you for saying good night, Dan. Interrupt my impulsive thoughts. Mhm. And impulsive thoughts and seeing patterns that, yeah.
Distraction, distraction. I don't think I ever saw Logan's Run then, is what I'm gonna say. I don't know that I ever
I
saw
think
it.
it wasn't jewelry now. They just showed it in the hand. It's something, I think it's an implant.
Uh-huh.
Interesting. An implant in our
Mm.
body.
Mm. Hmm.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to go back and watch that and look at what some of that symbolism is.
No
Mhm.
kidding. No
Mm,
kidding.
right?
Yeah. Well, I think we should probably head her
Oh,
out
yeah.
because I'm starting to get I usually try to close it down
Mhm.
by 10 my time.
Okay.
But yeah, I think we will
Yeah, it's
say
like
our good nights. Thank you all so much for coming in.
yes, thank you.
We really do appreciate you taking the time to hang out with us on, Fridays, Saturdays, and at Storms Radios and Cats on Sundays.
Yes.
Um,
Mm,
and I wish you all well. And for those of you that it's too hot, I hope that it will cool off a little bit. And for those of you that it's like mine, where it's so flipping cold, I hope it starts getting warm and we start actually experiencing summer. So anyway, take care until next week. God bless you
Yes.
all. Bye-bye.
Have a good one. Trust the